Auburn, Alabama fans, we've got your guys. On Mondays at 9:25, we'll be joined by Alabama offensive lineman Tyler Booker, and Tuesdays at 9:25, we chat with Auburn quarterback Peyton Thorne. Join us and rep your team.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live will share the latest interviews and videos from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and campuses all over the college landscape. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Live Daily Show. Jim, Lance, and Ryan will share their thoughts, and remember, you can always see the old shows on the Next Round Live YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. It's Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
You've been wearing that thin, raggedy t-shirt for years now, and people cannot stop whispering and staring in your vicinity. We've all been there. Luckily, there's a solution to your lack of fashion and social cues. At NextRound.store, they have plenty of options when it comes to a variety of shirts and hats. Once you start putting that Next Round gear on, be prepared to make new lifelong friends and hundreds of unforgettable conversations. Hope you like random high fives in the street, because that's what you're getting after visiting NextRound.store.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Happy football season. At the Next Round, we strive to make our loyal listeners feel like they're a part of the action all season long. My name is Grace McWhorter, and I do that by bringing you along for any given Saturday in Auburn or Tuscaloosa. From pregame warm-ups, touchdowns that make you feel a part of the play, and everything in between, our goal is to make you feel like you're inside Bryant Denny or Jordan Hare. Follow along on our social media at Next Round Live on Instagram, X, and Facebook. Also, check out thebarnauburn.com and covercrimson.com while you're at it. Here's to fall Saturdays.
From the creators of The Next Round comes two new sites, covercrimson.com and thebarnauburn.com. Two team sites with the same excitement and information-driven content that you get every day on The Next Round. Live daily shows, recorded shows, free of charge, plus premium content with insider information starting at just $1. And it's the perfect gift for the Alabama or Auburn fan in your family. Covercrimson.com or thebarnauburn.com. Sign up today.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
We talk about
how I feel about my fashion. However, did you know that I care about your fashion choices? Cargo shorts are out, flip-flops are only appropriate on the boat, and please throw away that stained t-shirt from college. You may be thinking, e.g., that's all I own. What do I do? Here's what you do. Go to nextround.store and fill your cart with a wardrobe that is approved by me. Stock up on logo t-shirts, hoodies for football season, and hats for every day of the week. Trust me on this one and head over to nextround.store to get stocked up for this season.
The World Wide Web is a large place. Find all your favorite people and content in the same spot. NextRoundLive.com is full of wonderful tidbits about the show you know and love. Find our gear, listen to your favorite personalities, follow our socials, and enjoy your trip to NextRoundLive.com. Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
Hang out with the Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out the Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
High noon now with our friends at Bud Light LT. We're on the road. You got the Stella. I got the classic Bud Light that now rolls with some team colors. Mine's crimson and white today because it's a big game in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Georgia and Alabama. One of the rare times they've met in the last decade that the trophy's not on the line.
Ah, boy, it just feels like a big game day atmosphere. And I know we're a day away from that. But the strip is already, traffic bumper to bumper.
Baby.
There is a buzz. A lot of people are already drinking the cold Bud Light. And, it just doesn't get any bigger than Georgia, Alabama, Kalen DeBoer's really first big game. I know they went to Camp Randall. They run them off the field 42-10. But this is a Kalen DeBoer welcome to the SEC moment.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this is the first time. I think a lot of people wanted to see Kalen DeBoer on the road at Wisconsin. See him away from home, Yeah, I mean, that's a Big Ten game. You thought Wisconsin maybe be a little bit better than they were. All right, you saw that. Like you said, check. That was a beat down. But nobody's making any judgments on Kalen DeBoer until he coaches a game like this. And, look, whatever happens here down the road just behind us tomorrow, if Alabama wins, that's never really going to matter if Alabama can't close the deal in January and December. If Alabama loses, it's really not going to matter if they're closing the deal in January and December. We make a big deal out of games like this. It's a much bigger picture in college football now.
We can never diminish the accomplishments of Nick Saban. I think everybody will agree. Greatest to ever do it. It will never go away. But I think there will be that feel, the comfort feel from Alabama fans if they do win this game. Man, this is just business as usual.
Yeah, keep on rolling.
Really, if you're an Alabama fan and you go from the greatest to ever do it, and then you're able to knock off a team to go to 4-0 and to maybe become the number one team in the nation rolling into October, and you do it in your first SEC game, would be pretty incredible.
Typical Georgia fan, stopping traffic on the street already, not using a crosswalk. Play by the rules in Tuscaloosa, dude. Come on.
First Georgia fan we've seen.
Welcome to the football.
It almost came.
Get you an ice cold Bud Light on us.
That's all right. Two Alabama fans with him, though, so he's flanked.
We'll pick you up now and knock you down again tomorrow.
We've talked all week about the narratives that could possibly come out of this game. And obviously for Kirby Smart, I believe it's a bigger game, obviously a massive game for both. But when you look at what is still in front of Georgia after struggling in Lexington, you've got to go to Oxford. You've got to go to Austin. You've still got Tennessee on that schedule. And I think Georgia fans, talking to a few of them, believe if they were to lose this game, they are in a big jeopardy of missing the college football playoff and back-to-back. And what world would we have lived in where Georgia and Kirby Smart wouldn't go to a 12-team playoff?
Yeah, I just don't feel like if they lose this game, they're in jeopardy of missing the playoff.
Depends on how they lose it, though.
Maybe so. If they lose this game, they're in jeopardy of making the playoff at 10-2. I would still, if
real quick, if they went out there, if Alabama won by 14 and their offense looked bad again, Georgia's offense, you're going to go back 2 weeks ago and say, well, maybe this isn't a fluke. They struggled in the first half against Clemson.
Still, they would have to lose 3 games, is Brandon's point. You'd still have to lose 2 more games.
But I still think you're concerned if you're a Georgia fan, if your offense looks bad in a loss in Tuscaloosa based on the fact that the offense looked shaky in the first half against Clemson, and the offense was non-existent in Lexington.
A lot of things to get to. We'll talk about that throughout the show today. Roman Harper with us in the next segment. We'll do our Buffalo Wild Wings pick 3. We are here at the Rabbit Hole first. We want to tell you where we are. A place that I've walked by several times. People today, I was over at on campus doing some work earlier today, and I was told about the food at this place. So I can't wait to try out the Rabbit Hole food. The drinks are already good. We're flowing with a Bud Light. We're excited that Bud Light has us out here. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. But as you can tell, we're on a stage out here where they've got live music later tonight. So if you're watching us or listening to us and you're on your way to Tuscaloosa, the Rabbit Hole for live music here on the patio tonight, where you get a chance to enjoy the great weather that'll be happening this weekend, fall temperatures. Throw on those fall boots, ladies, and come on down and listen to live music here at the Rabbit Hole tonight. And great food and drink all day long.
It's a really cool place, by the way. I didn't really know it existed until we talked about it this week. I remember seeing this old, like, kind of Victorian house, and the way they have built this out is just it's just really when I was in school down here, you had the Die Hard, just kind of dive bars. you didn't, in a couple of music venues, you didn't have really cool character-like bars like this. Really cool.
Absolutely. Our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing gets us going. We'll jump into some of the games we saw last night. Our buddy Greg from Pell City will jump onto your roof and make sure everything's working fine. The most respected roofing contractor in Alabama is shown by the A+ rated with a Better Business Bureau that he gets right there. Best thing about Greg and his wife, they own the company, locally owned for over 20 years. Their crews are either headed up by Greg himself or a couple of their sons or son-in-laws. The insurance companies trust him because he's been doing this so long. No out-of-town workers going to get on your roof. These are local guys. They'll give you a free no-cost roof inspection. Free no-cost roof inspection with our friends Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing, 205-542-3531. And also, you can look him up on Facebook, Greg from Pell City. And also, Dr. B, who's got LT's hair looking fantastic for a big game weekend. He loves it when the wind is blowing like this. And as he gets ready to tell us about Dr. B, we will tell you that our thoughts and prayers with everyone down in the Florida area as Hurricane Helene made landfall and a powerful storm and will cause damage all the way into the state of Georgia and up the Atlantic coast there. We've dealt with it here before, and we know you guys are under it. And we were talking pre-show of just how massive that storm got in a very quick fashion last night. So we're thinking about everyone who watches and listens to us in Florida and Georgia dealing with those high winds.
Yeah, Dr. B, again, I brought this up when we started this venture more than 3 years ago. I started to notice I was thinning out a little bit. I went to see Dr. Beckenstein. When I asked around, they said that was the guy you need to go see. Dr. B pioneered the use of NeoGraft hair restoration in Alabama, remains at the forefront of hair preservation in the Southeast. Dr. B takes pride in treating each patient personally, applying his expertise to produce those quality results for more than 20 years. Women and men have turned to Dr. B. Make the phone call that I made. Schedule the consultation today. 205-319-0316. I do the non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. So that is it. My hair has more than doubled in thickness. Make the phone call that I made. Tell them the next round sent you. 205-319-0316 or T3hair.net.
The last time this possibly happened, we were kicking Germany's ass in World War II. Back in 1945, but Army won last night. If Navy comes to Birmingham, Alabama tomorrow and beats UAB, it'll be the first time that Navy and Army have started off 4-0 in the same year since 1945. And Navy is a betting favorite over at Protective Stadium tomorrow. Army looked really good last night in the American.
It is crazy that Navy is coming to UAB and is giving UAB 3.5 points. Is that still what it is, 3.5? Because
last I saw,
the line has moved in both Georgia, Alabama, and Oklahoma-Auburn. We'll get to that. But
yeah, but I want to tell you, Navy has looked that good. And for them to go out and put 52 on a Memphis team that was just in Tallahassee 2 weeks ago, knocking off Florida State and sending them to 0-3 at that point, Navy's been really good. Now, we know Monken, what he's done with this Army program, but this Bryson Daly kid and how good they looked in the first half and then into the third quarter, I sweated it a little bit because I gave the number out at 13. We had Army last night at lanceslock.com, and they get up 28-0, and then they allow Temple to come back and cut it to 28-14. And it looked like at that point, well, maybe we've got a semblance of a game, but give Army credit. They stretched it back out to a 28-point lead en route to winning by that margin. But this Bryson Daly kid, rushing for 152, they throw it around a little bit more. 7 attempts last night. The Cadets, or the Black Knights, I should say. But Army has been impressive, man. I mean, they have blown out everybody they've lined up against.
Yeah. Now, their schedule is going to get a little bit more difficult. They've played the easy part of their schedule out of conference here, and Temple is no good. But I don't want to take it away from Army. I mean, how many times have you watched Army-Navy where it's like, 1-10 versus 0-11? That's not going to be the case this year. I mean, Army-Navy is going to be a legit good game, probably.
Well, you know what it could be?
I don't think so.
No. I don't think so either. But can you imagine?
So remind me what they did. They say that game does not count against the American standings.
It's not an American conference game, nor will it be considered its impact on the college football playoffs. They'll make the announcement before that Army.
So it's essentially a bowl game, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically an exhibition game.
If Army or Navy won the American and they were the Group of 5 team, that would be determined before Army-Navy.
That is correct.
That would have no impact.
Yeah, but if they're both undefeated, it wouldn't matter anyway. Now, look, Army's got to take on Notre Dame. I think Navy plays Notre Dame again, I think. But Army's going to be favored in the rest of their games. They go to Tulsa. They've got UAB at home, East Carolina at home, Air Force at home. At North Texas, maybe they're a dog there. I doubt it against UTSA. And then the Army-Navy game. Army, their closest game this year has been 17 points at Florida Atlantic. Yeah. It's a pretty good team. Look, I don't think they're a playoff caliber team, But I'm just saying, based on the schedule, they could easily go 11-1.
Absolutely. So that was Army last night. A couple of games tonight, and our NASCAR Fast look ahead to the games tonight. And tonight includes Virginia Tech, who has been disappointing, taking on Miami tonight in a game that should be a whole lot of fun to watch if you're trying to find Miami some losses to keep the ACC from getting two teams into the playoffs. A loss by Miami tonight likely makes the ACC a one-team, one-bid league.
It seems far-fetched. And look, and I know Virginia Tech, there was expectations coming into this season, and they lose week 1 against Vanderbilt where they were down 17. They come back, they take the lead. They end up losing that game by 7. And then they're coming off a really difficult loss last week in Blacksburg to a much-improved Rutgers team. So coming into this game or coming into the season, we would have thought 4-0, 4-0. And now you've got a 4-0 Miami that's a top 10 team, and now you've got 2-2 desperation from Virginia Tech. I do have a play on this game. It might be closer than most think. I don't think Miami can lose this game, though.
Well, if it's close, anything can happen.
Closer than the 17.5 possibly, Dunaway.
Okay.
I don't see. I mean, look, we've seen bigger upsets. We'll probably see a bigger upset than a 17-point live dog this weekend.
Virginia Tech's quarterback hasn't been as good as expected.
He has not.
been as good as last year. Tech in Miami, Florida tonight, 6:30 on ESPN. You also get Washington and Rutgers. Rutgers sneaky good. 7:00 on Main Fox tonight for those two games. We'll get a line movement update on the big games in the country, including Bama and Georgia coming up in a moment. But that look ahead to tonight's schedule and what we saw last night, NASCAR Fast from our friends at Talladega. October 4th through the 6th, you can get tickets to the world's fastest speedway. All you have to do is go to TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. You got Buck and Dega, a rodeo after the truck playoff race on Friday. How about that? A rodeo inside the Talladega Superspeedway. That just sounds like a whole lot of fun. And then on Saturday, you got an Xfinity playoff race and then a Jake Owen concert. Jake Owen could play here on this beautiful stage at the Rabbit Hole, but Jake Owen playing Talladega on Saturday night, October 5th, and then the Yellowwood 500 on October the 6th. Go get your tickets now, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Brownie, give us a MyBookie line update on the big games happening this weekend.
Well, I mean, there has been some movement. Hang on one second. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I was going through all this. Stayed up a little late last night.
Yeah.
And was going through all these numbers. Yeah, there's been some
movement. I think the Auburn-Georgia movement, you could easily look, or excuse me, the Auburn-Oklahoma movement, you could easily look at as that injury report. Yeah. When the availability report came out last night, Oklahoma's got 5 starting wide receivers on that thing.
Okay, explain to me what you just said. I thought they came out Wednesday. Do they do another one on Friday?
Updated. No, they do it every day. Yeah, and the one that got updated last night at 7:00.
So I can say out on Wednesday.
Final report.
I can say out on Wednesday and then come back on Friday and say you're in.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think you can rule out.
I think once you're out, you're out.
Yeah, once you're out, you're out.
Because the one I saw last night, and I didn't go and check it. The one I saw last night looked like it was a screenshot, and there were so many Oklahoma wide receivers.
No, there's 5 out.
I started to doubt whether or not that was legit.
No, it's legit.
Well, the only thing I would say about that, Brown, is like typically, I mean, that is a mass of players, especially from one unit. But typically, the only thing that's going to move this is a significant player, more than likely a quarterback. This is only a 1-point move, so it goes from Oklahoma 2 to 1.
It's 1.5 now, yeah.
So Oklahoma,
Auburn's 1.5.
Auburn's I think that's some significant money coming on Auburn.
Yeah, I mean, if you're starting a freshman quarterback, first start on the road, and you're down 5 receivers, it's kind of hard to run to the window and say, give me some Oklahoma in that situation, right?
Unless you think Auburn's that bad.
But there again, if I watched Auburn play on offense and I watched Oklahoma's defense Saturday night, it's equally difficult for me to run to the window and say, give me a little Auburn. I mean, like, this is, you frequently say, look, I'm staying away from that game. Normally when it's at 11 o'clock. This is not at 11 o'clock. This is a stay away from.
No, this is one of those games that I either play the home team or I'm definitely backing away from because I kind of know what I'm getting with Peyton Thorne. Now, you might have bad Peyton Thorne where he throws 2 or 3 picks, and then you're probably doomed. But I don't really know what we're going to get from Michael Hawkins.
Now,
I think this Oklahoma offensive line is bad. I think Auburn can really take advantage and build some confidence defensively. And I think Auburn's going to take it safe offensively. I think it's all about Hunter and Alston running the football, setting Peyton Thorne up, maybe take a couple of deep shots. What is our status? Is Cam Coleman 100%?
We're going to spend a lot of time talking about the big game, though, Georgia and Alabama. Has that line moved?
It has, in fact. Like, Georgia has been – what's the highest you've seen Georgia this week? It's been hovering around 2.5.
Well, so before the number opened, I saw Georgia as high as 3.5. If that makes any sense. Once it opened, I have not seen Georgia over 2.5.
It is now down to 1. Georgia is a 1-point favorite over Alabama, a total of 49.5. So this thing has slowly crept down. Which is that smart money? Are we late enough in the week that smart money is moving that? I mean,
this is one of those, like, if you're a good debater, you can argue any side, right?
Yeah,
I can argue any side of this game.
Yeah, there's several people that I know that would agree with you on that. You're really good at this.
Yeah. Well, no, I think that is easy. Like, if I had a strong feel for Georgia, I could tell you why. If I had a strong feel for Alabama,
right?
And I think when you look at the situation, and if I'm just playing the money game, why this number has come down,
right?
I mean, Alabama has owned Georgia. You can call it a Nick Saban problem. You call it an Alabama problem, but that's the fact of the matter. You are also getting an Alabama team that had been favored in 113 consecutive home games, and now you're getting points. If Nick Saban was the head coach, I don't know anybody that wouldn't take advantage of this. That doesn't necessarily mean Alabama's going to win this game if Nick Saban was still the head coach. But if Nick Saban was catching points, everybody would be on Alabama.
Yeah, this feels like a lot of people saying, oh, my gosh, I'm getting Alabama as a home underdog.
That's it.
And if they've done any research, they know that you got to go back to 2007 to find that.
Well, the more I look at this game, the more I kind of want to stay away from it. I told you guys early in the week I like Georgia, but I can also play the other side. Georgia has won 42 consecutive regular season games, and now all they got to do is win the game. That's all you're asking them to do.
Yeah, that streak is 42 because Alabama hasn't been on their schedule. They'll get a chance.
Just like a Bama fan.
Well, I'm just saying the two losses that they've lost in that period of time have been in an SEC championship game. So people may have been thinking, wait, we beat them twice. So, you beat them in the SEC championship game, and it's a little different on that streak of 42 straight. That's a MyBookie line update brought to you by our friends at mybookie.ag.
Code next round when you sign on at mybookie.ag, and they will double your initial deposit. So you make a deposit at mybookie.ag, use code next round. They double that deposit. That is money you can play with right away. You don't have to wait, and you win once with it. It is yours and yours forever. Keep playing with it. Cash it out. Whatever you want to do, mybookie.ag, code next round. Code next round when you sign on at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.ag. Code next round.
As you come to the rabbit hole right here on the Strip, you're coming from downtown and heading to the entertainment district here in Tuscaloosa, the rabbit hole. Live music tonight, but if you join us before 3 o'clock today, we do have the Bud Light wheel to spin in the back of the patio. We've got great gear to give away, Bud Light gear to give away, some Alabama/Bud Light gear to give away. In fact, LT was modeling what looked to be a 1994 Major League Baseball pitcher's jacket. She was calling it a bomber jacket.
It is a bomber jacket.
It did look like the dugout jacket, like the coach comes out.
Yeah, I was expecting you to put on your Jim Wells hat, put a chew in, and run out and change pitchers and bring in the lefty.
I will bring the bomber jacket up here in a little bit. But not only that, they got like Peter Millar, collared $150 golf shirts with the scripted A on them. I mean, really, really good gear from Adams and Bud Light out here. Little T and I did kind of a tutorial, and we sent it out on social about the wheel. But come by here, spin the wheel, get great Bud Light specials at the rabbit hole, and your opportunity to walk off with some really, really good merch.
You know what else they got over there is they've got a bucket of next round gear that is absolutely free today. 100% free. Everything that's next round over there is free.
Yep. So go by and get that over there. Thanks to our friends at Bud Light and the Rabbit Hole for having us here today. Taylor Korn is sporting her school sweatshirt, and I think I just saw another Auburn hat guy walk in here. So we've got one Georgia fan and two Auburn fans on the deck right now. He just walked in to pick up his order. I think he was going to get a burger.
Oh, it does smell good, by the way.
So Taylor, who do you pull for tomorrow night?
Alabama and Georgia.
Yeah, I was texting with an Auburn fan, and he was filling out his pick three, which you can play right now at nextroundlive.com, the Buffalo Wild Wings pick three. And he showed me he had Alabama, and I said, roll tide, ? He said, nope. And I said, roll tide loses by, at the time, it was 2.5, no more than 1 or 2. He goes, then Georgia wins. Nope.
So, just not going to be happening.
Well, you guys remember the first national championship matchup, the walk-off with Devontae Smith and Tua. And talking to Auburn fans before that, they wanted Alabama to win that game just because Alabama had done it. And they wanted Georgia to continue on this streak. Now, once Georgia won it, then, I think Auburn fans are like, I want it to be miserable conditions.
Yeah, Taylor said it's a little chilly out here. I'm going to throw this Auburn sweatshirt on and do a little work here in Tuscaloosa. Alabama's going to try to do work. If you know the answer, Lance, don't answer this, or Brown, either one of you. But 21 Alabama touchdowns, 21 of them this year. How many of them have been more than 20 yards in distance? They've got 21 touchdowns. You already know the answer?
No, I don't.
Okay,
I mean,
give me a guess. How many have been
well,
20 yards or more than 20? So 21 yards or more. 21 touchdowns.
21, I would say.
Relive them in your head.
Yeah, this is crazy, but I am going to go as high because I brought up the fact that 12 different Alabama players have explosive plays, and it seems like 3/4 of their touchdowns have been explosive plays. I'm just going to randomly say 17 of 21.
I was going to say 17.
It's not that high. It's 13. 13 of the 21 have been 21 yards or more, 20-plus explosive play touchdowns. And I don't want to get on the telestrator behind us here, but if you go back to Cade Klubnik in the opening game against Georgia put 3 NFL DBs in the draft, right?
Yeah.
So they got some All-Americans back there, but they got younger 4- and 5-star recruits back there, mostly 5 stars. If it's Kirby, it's all he recruits is 5 stars. So he's got some younger guys still working it out in the secondary. If you go back to Cade Klubnik in that Clemson game, Georgia boat raced him, but early in that game, Cade Klubnik overthrew or underthrew a couple of wide open receivers behind that secondary. Who throws the best deep ball in college football?
That's Jalen Milroe. Maybe not in college football, but he's really good.
Who throws a better deep ball than Jalen Milroe?
Oh, I don't know.
Jim Harbaugh used to say nobody.
I haven't watched everybody in college football. But I'll say Milroe.
I think you will see both quarterbacks take those shots tomorrow. I think Mike Bobo is going to dial it up for Carson Beck. I think if Georgia wins this game, Carson Beck's going to be outstanding. Everybody talks about the struggles in Lexington. His 17 career starts had a career low 160 passing yards, but I think they're going to take their shots as well.
Yeah, if you are an Alabama fan and you're looking for, man, can Ryan Williams get behind the secondary? Now, Georgia's had a few weeks to fix this, but in that opening game, there was an opportunity there. Now you flip it around to your point on Carson Beck. You go back to basically any game Alabama's played so far, specifically the USF game. They had receivers running behind the young, rebuilt Alabama secondary, and their quarterback couldn't hit them either.
Yeah, Western Kentucky had to make a quarterback change in game, and Byron Brown is a great athlete, but he is just it's just a guy that's consistently not going to beat you through the air, and he was very inaccurate in that game. And that was still a terrifying game, I think, for Alabama and Alabama fans going into the fourth quarter. And then Tyler Van Dyke goes down. He was 5 of 5. It was only 16 yards before he's lost for the season with that injury in the Alabama game. They just haven't played a quarterback that is even close to Carson Beck. Yep. Now, whether or not, again, that equates to a Georgia win, we shall see. But this quarterback that they see is the real deal.
Well, let's hear from Kane Womack. Tyler will bring Tyler in now. Can you give me cut number 4, buddy? And let me know when you have that ready. Kane Womack, of course, like Brown, I know Brown will probably ask this to Roman Harper when we talk to him in the next segment, but Brown has been hearing that so much of the more in-depth Alabama defense hasn't been used.
Not hearing from sources. I'm just saying I see a lot of fans say that.
Okay, you have not heard it from anybody official.
No.
So let's ask Roman what he's seen on tape. Roman Harper, SEC Network, with us next. But Kane Womack had a chance to talk about just a big game atmosphere and what he expects from his guys. Here is Kane Womack.
I tell our players this all the time. The greatest players always step up in the biggest moments, and whether that be in a critical third down or, critical SEC matchups or, red zone or taking the ball off of people, whatever it is, right? These are the opportunities that are given for players to be able to step up in the biggest moments. And as coaches, we're no different. We want to be able to compete against the best. There's things we do schematically, fundamentally, culturally, right, that you want to be able to get a group of young men to all pull the rope in the same direction and then show up on game day and see what that looks like on Saturdays. And so we're working our tails off right now to maximize our opportunity for success on Saturday as a coaching staff and as a group of players, and then let the chips fall where they may in a couple of days here.
So far, Georgia just doesn't turn the football over, and we'll see if Alabama can Pressure Carson Beck tomorrow and the big one tomorrow night. Game day tomorrow morning on campus. Get there early for that. Remember, former President Donald Trump, who's a candidate, is back for another Alabama football game here in Tuscaloosa. You need to get to the stadium early. There'll be extra lines of security to go through. We remember 2019 with the metal detectors. You'll have that security circle further out than normal, so you'll go through a couple of checkpoints to get inside the stadium. The students are getting in at 3:30 for a 6:30 game, so they'll be in there for a long time. You need to make plans to get into town and get to the stadium early as well, so you don't miss anything tomorrow night with that 6:37 kick right there on ABC. All right, Roman's next. We're live at the Rabbit Hole thanks to our friends from Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. And for you Bama fans out there, our buddy Daniel Moore celebrating the career of Nick Saban here in Tuscaloosa. He has painted the legend Daniel Moore's tribute to Coach Nick Saban and his 6 national championships here on the capstone. You can also get a 2025 calendar. It's now available with a bunch of Daniel Moore great Alabama prints there as you celebrate the Coach Saban era, all in that calendar. And you get 20% off if you use the coupon code TNR. TNR is the coupon code, 20% off the calendar orders right now. And the legend is waiting on you. And in fact, Coach Saban is signing a few of those Nick Saban legend prints from Daniel Moore. So order now. All you have to do to make that order is go to danielmooreart.com, danielmooreart.com, and celebrate Nick Saban's time here in Tuscaloosa. Some of the proceeds are going to benefit Nick's Kids Foundation, and those autograph prints are waiting on you right now. danielmooreart.com. Back to the Rabbit Hole in Tuscaloosa after this timeout on a big Georgia-Alabama college football weekend.
Ryan Brown here for the next round. Join me and CBS sports analyst Brandon Marcello for the Middle 8 each Monday at 8 a.m. as we look back at the weekend of college football from the SEC to the top 25 of the college football playoff. It's the Middle 8 presented by mybookie.ag, code next round.
There's only one Champy's world-famous fried chicken. Poor boy's tenders, full fried chicken plates, and a little bit of the Mississippi Delta with chicken on a stick and hot tamales. On your way to or from the big game on Highway 119 in Alabaster, stop by Champy's Chicken.
Bryant Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
From the creators of The Next Round comes 2 new sites, covercrimson.com and thebarnauburn.com. 2 team sites with the same excitement and information-driven content that you get every day on The Next Round. Live daily shows, recorded shows, free of charge, plus premium content with insider information starting at just $1. And it's the perfect gift for the Alabama or Auburn fan in your family. Covercrimson.com or thebarnauburn.com. Sign up today.
You never know what we're up to here at The Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow The Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunsford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in. Happy football season. At The Next Round, we strive to make our loyal listeners feel like they're a part of the action all season long. My name is Emily Grace McWhorter, and I do that by bringing you along for any given Saturday in Auburn or Tuscaloosa. From pregame warm-ups, touchdowns that make you feel a part of the play, and everything in between, our goal is to make you feel like you're inside Bryant Denny or Jordan Hare. Follow along on our social media at Next Round Live on Instagram, X, and Facebook. Also, check out thebarnauburn.com and covercrimson.com while you're at it. Here's to fall Saturdays.
From the creators of The Next Round comes 2 new sites, covercrimson.com and thebarnauburn.com. 2 team sites with the same excitement and information-driven content that you get every day on The Next Round. Live daily shows, recorded shows, free of charge, plus premium content with insider information starting at just $1. And it's the perfect gift for the Alabama or Auburn fan in your family. Covercrimson.com or thebarnauburn.com. Sign up today.
Hey, you feel that? That's fall in the air. And New Balance Birmingham got your fresh fall pair to kick it during game time and sport from the sideline. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280 right next to Chick-fil-A.
New Balance Birmingham. We got now.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Take TNR on the go with a podcast built for your satisfaction. Miss Hour 1? Find it in podcast form. Miss Hour 2? Stream it now. Miss Hour 3? Download it for later. Miss Hour 4? Well, just know it's never coming back. Listen to TNR wherever you find podcasts.
Rolling on the next round, live from the Rabbit Hole, thanks to our friends at Bud Light and the fine folks that are here at the Rabbit Hole, been so hospitable to us on a huge weekend as folks are flowing into Tuscaloosa tonight for the big game between Georgia and Alabama. Let's go to our football brain. Roman Harper is going to join the show now, right, Brad?
He is. Harp joins us each week courtesy of mybookie.ag. Code next round when you sign on at mybookie.ag. And they're going to double that initial deposit you make at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag, code next round. MyBookie.ag, code next round. Here is Roman Harper now from Auburn. Boy, travel to Auburn was fun through a hurricane, right, Harp?
Hey, man, it rained pretty hard last night, but, I mean, we survived. I didn't drown, and the vibes are okay. It's amazing to see that both of these teams are pretty excited. Both of these teams are trying to figure out, what's up, boss? You doing good? Doing good. Both of these teams got to figure out who their quarterback is as well. It's like all these things, these question marks around this game. We can talk about 30 other things besides the game when these two teams are involved right now.
Well, let me ask you, just because you bring up quarterbacks and Michael Hawkins will be getting that first career start in Jordan Harris. So fourth starting quarterback, we're still in the month of September between these two teams, both coming off disappointing losses. I think we know, Harp, that Oklahoma's got a really, really good defense. I don't know if we know anything else about Auburn's offense, Auburn's defense, Oklahoma's offense, maybe outside of the fact that Oklahoma and Auburn's offense just aren't good this year.
You're probably correct on that statement. But I think the thing I would say is about this is that Auburn's actually pretty decent when they get out of their own way. Auburn has continued to turn the football over. And you don't win games when you turn the football over. That's like the most important stat in football, and they're terrible at it. And so if they protect the football, they have a chance in every game. And the reason why they have lost games is because they turn the football over. You can't turn the football over in five times against Cal. No, 5 times versus Arkansas, 4 interceptions versus Cal. Like, you just don't win those games. And so if they get that thing cleaned up, they're probably going to be in better situations or can win actually ball games. But that's yet to be determined because – like I said, they have not taken care of the football enough.
Harper, if I'm an Oklahoma fan for this weekend and Texas fans when they have finally started to do this, one of the reasons I'm fired up about being in the SEC is better road trips every week. I mean, if you're an Oklahoma fan, it's got to be a hell of a lot. It's got to be a hell of a lot better going to Auburn than it is to Manhattan, Kansas, or somewhere like that. It's got to be a good time for the Sooner fans, right?
Yes, it has to be. I'll text you later. Sorry, I'm over at my boy. I'm at Irritable Bow. It's a great place here in Auburn.
You can't beat that. Yes.
That I grew up with. So, yeah, it's great food. But yeah, I mean, to be here at Auburn is not. I mean, I love being at Auburn. I mean, I get to come home to Alabama, where I'm from. It's just beautiful. I flew into Montgomery, and been hanging out with my. What's up, Jordan? What's up, ladies? Been hanging out with my peoples. I know a lot of people here, so I just got picked up. It's sorry, I'm doing an interview, guys. It's fine. But yeah, you guys already know how I live. This is my life.
What was the question? Dunaway, I think Harp answered the question.
My question was for Oklahoma and Texas fans. They've got to be happy to go to better SEC road trips than they got in the Big 12, which always look like sucky environments.
I haven't been in the Big 12, so I won't judge them. But I'm sure the SEC is way better. Like, they just love football more down here. We all know that. They're crazy.
Yep. There's no doubt.
Or not.
There's no doubt about that. Roman Harper with us each week, courtesy of mybookie.ag. Code next round. Normally with us on Thursday, but flying through a hurricane pushed him to Friday. Mybookie.ag, code next round to get that sign-up bonus. They double your initial deposit. You can play with it right away. Free money. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.ag. Let's go to the game that is here in Tuscaloosa, Harp. Does your gut tell you that it is an Alabama problem for Kirby Smart or a Nick Saban problem for Kirby Smart? And will we even know after Saturday night?
So I do think Kirby has the Nick Saban problem. I don't know if this Georgia team is ready to solve the issue, though. I'm really excited to see Kalen DeBoer versus Kirby on a level-to-level basis because I want to see what Kalen DeBoer is. This is his first big game at Alabama, and his record's really good in these situations. So I'm looking forward to that. I want to see if Georgia can figure out their offensive, I'm not going to say problems, but situation. Like, they have not been explosive. Things are a lot harder for Carson Beck than it is for Jalen Milroe, just by dropping back and passing. Like, Jalen Milroe gets more easy layups. Carson Beck seems like he's always he has to figure out the math problem after they snap the ball. And it's a lot on his shoulders. He can handle it, but it would be so much easier on him if they did some other things. Those are the things that I'm looking at. And can Georgia make it easier on him by running the football, being a physical team? And Alabama's not been great at stopping the run. Can they figure out those little issues and nuances? It'll be a very physical game to make it dirty and a tough game. If they do that, I think it bodes better for them. But that's a big if. That's a big if.
Hey, Harp, let's look at unit matchups. You just tell me the advantage. Alabama offense against Georgia defense, and then Georgia offense against Alabama defense.
I will probably take the offense on both sides. Alabama offense, they're explosive. They're not consistent at times, but this is the first time we saw them all 100% healthy as well. With the offensive line was against Wisconsin, and Wisconsin's not good enough to push them. But I would take Alabama's explosiveness. Like, they're just a big play waiting to happen. And then for Georgia, they got so many good weapons. And Alabama's defense, it's good but not great. And then I told you guys, I'm going to take my emotions out of it because I don't care about them stopping them. It's all about the three categories. It's red zone defense, turnovers, and third down. And so if Georgia's not good on third down, Alabama's going to win this game. Georgia has to sustain drives. They have to stay on the field. They have to and do longer drives because they're not going to hit big plays offensively. They're a grinded out type of team. And so if they're able to do that and stay on the field, stay connected on these drives, then Georgia's going to be fine and win this game.
Harp, there is a theory among fans, and I should point out it's among fans, that Alabama under Womack has played a little base. They haven't been really forced to do a lot of exotic things, so there's a lot that Georgia hasn't seen. Watching Alabama, does that stand out?
I mean, that's easy to say. I do think it is an advantage for Alabama to be playing them without having to, quote-unquote, show everything. I think they'll have some exotic runs with the quarterback. I think you will get some new looks that we haven't seen out of Alabama. I do anticipate that, but I mean, who has shown their whole playbook in the first 4 weeks? I don't think anybody has. Like, you pick out each week, extract what you think is going to work versus that team. Nobody shows the whole playbook. Nobody does that. But it's an interesting take and a fact. But I do like the fact that Alabama may have some new wrinkles in that it is newer in the season, and they play teams where they may not have to show their whole hand before they actually go against Georgia, and they maybe can show a couple wrinkles or two. And you don't need them the whole game. You're not going to live and die off of them. But if it's a third down in a crucial situation, like that may be the play call you go to.
Back to my earlier question, Harp. You said you took both offenses over both defenses. Last week you told us down at Jordan-Hare it was going to be a shootout between Arkansas and Auburn. That didn't play out. Do you think we have a potential shootout in Bryant-Denny tomorrow night?
It could potentially happen. I thought I called the shootout was Mississippi State and Florida. I called the over, which I was correct on.
Maybe it was Brown. I don't want to peg on you.
I said Auburn, Arkansas would be a shootout.
I think I called the over.
Okay.
I think I was with the over. On
you
that
were. You jumped on my over bandwagon. We were. At least it wasn't close, Harp. We didn't have to sweat that one out.
No, it's like hammer the over. I remember it. Hammer the over.
I said it. I said it all on it.
I do. This could turn into a shootout, but I just don't think so. Like the Alabama-Georgia game, like the coaches have changed, but it's still going to come down to the same thing. It's going to come to a line. It's going to come down to a line of scrimmage game, where the front seven of Georgia's defense versus Alabama offensive line. And at the SEC championship last year, Alabama won that matchup, and so they're going to have to get those things corrected. If Alabama wins that matchup again, they're going to win the game. And whichever team dominates the line of scrimmage, that's who's going to win the game, period, flat out. And that's just what it's going to be because these two teams, that's who they live and die off of. And Georgia makes you fight that type of fight. Like Georgia's going to bring you in there, and they're going to make you get really physical. And if you can't stand up, then you're going to bow out eventually. But if you do stand up and you can fight back, then you got a chance. And that's what happened last year in the SEC championship game. And I can't wait to see it tomorrow in Bryant-Denny. It's going to be electric in there, and the crowd's going to be ready. But man, I know these two teams, like they're going to be ready for the moment, and that's what I'm looking for. It's like great football, good on good, and I hope to see a really good game tomorrow.
Well, we'll see. We got a lot of good football in the SEC. Harp will be in Auburn for SEC Nation. Are you doing Feinbaum? Did Paul make it in, or are you having to do Feinbaum?
Well, that's the thing right now. I may have to do Feinbaum. I don't know. The weather's pretty good, so hopefully Paul made it in. So then I can go golf. But I hope Paul makes it in so I can go golf. But yeah, man.
Where are you playing? Where are you playing if you go play golf? Yeah. Where are you going to play if you go play golf? Where's the tee time?
At the University Club. My boy Bill Herring got us a tee time. I've never played it. So I plan on hitting it straight and doing pretty well. So let's go, guys. I mean, what's the over/under call this week? Who we looking at? What's our
Lance, you give him a total this week, Lance. I screwed him up last week.
I would not be surprised if we do get a shootout.
With Oklahoma-Auburn?
No. I'm talking about with Georgia and Alabama.
Georgia and Alabama. Yeah. See, here's my hot play. Under Oklahoma-Auburn. Both of them suck on offense.
Yep.
And Oklahoma's got a good defense. So under that one, Lance says over
what
Georgia.
What is the point total? What's the point total?
We'll have to look on that.
Auburn and Oklahoma, I think, is 46, and I think Alabama and Georgia is 48.5.
Yeah, my big play, Harp, is under Alabama-Georgia first half. A lot more scoring in the second half. Very conservative in the first half. Under first half.
I actually really like the under first half. That's playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers right there. I like that.
That's right.
The under the first half.
You're talking to double
into a shootout. Teams are going to get more aggressive as the game goes on. I agree with you. I actually don't like that under for the Auburn-Oklahoma, just because like this is when stuff starts to get weird. When you think you know, you never really know. Like that's one of those situations here. I would maybe stay away from that one. I'd probably lean towards taking Oklahoma. What are they, a 2-point favorite, 3-point favorite?
Well, no, it dropped down to 1 because of that injury report, with 5 receivers out last night, and it dropped down to Auburn favored 1.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that means Oklahoma's defense is going to have to go out there and score a touchdown for them to win.
Probably.
That's what it's going to take.
I don't know if you've watched Auburn, but they may have that chance. Their defense may have that chance.
Exactly. I mean, I would probably lean towards taking Oklahoma.
Okay. All right, Harp. Either hit them straight or have fun doing Feinbaum, whichever one it is. Okay.
Hey, dude. I'm working 4 hours regardless. So 5
Yes,
mile or on the golf course. One's going to be
All
way
right.
more fun than the others.
Enjoy it.
I know which one that is. Thank you, Harper. We'll see you next week.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, buddy. Roman Harper with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Harp joins us each week courtesy of MyBookie.ag. All those lines we were talking about, you play those games at MyBookie.ag. Code next round when you sign on at MyBookie.ag. They will double that initial deposit. That is free money. You can play with it right away. MyBookie.ag. Code next round. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.ag. Code next round.
We'll get to the Buffalo Wild Wings pick 3 here in just a second, but quickly, LT, tell us about our friends at Inverness Country Club. Since Harp was talking golf, one of the great places in the Birmingham metro area to play golf is the ICC.
Absolutely. It is a hidden gem. They've got memberships that fit everyone at Inverness, the social membership, including the resort-style pool complex, full-service cabana bar, live music on Fridays and Sunday brunch, the golf membership with the beautiful course, currently expanding that driving range. Maybe you relocated or retired. Inverness is a great place to network. Childcare, also a big plus. You and your friends and wife having dinner on site, knowing the kid is safe, massive plus. Best days happen in Inverness. To take a tour of this unbelievable club, very simple. Call Erin. Tell her the next round sent you. 205-991-8608. That's 205-991-8608 or online, iccalabama.com.
How about my man over there carrying the cross of Christ?
That's what I was about to say.
Look at that.
Well, he's got a wheel on it. So
Well, he does. Jesus did not have that, but this is much easier.
Yeah.
My man.
Nice work.
Good job.
Good job. Very
Yeah.
good. Yes.
Yes.
It has been Alabama's cross to bear for Kirby. Wait, Kirby's cross to bear playing
sorry.
Alabama.
You did it.
I pointed it out.
1-5 against the Crimson Tide. We'll talk about that in other games in the Pick 3, which is brought to you by our friends at McCurry.
No, Buffalo Wild
Excuse me, Buffalo Wild Wings. Our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings. Tell us about B-Dubs LT, and we'll hit the big song.
12 Central Alabama locations, including that Buffalo Wild Wings Go location. I picked up Leighton downtown on Tuesday. Where do you want to go? She wanted to go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Why not?
She ate some of the cauliflower wings. I wasn't as daring. I went with the regular boneless wings, but fantastic food. TVs all over the place. You're looking for a place to watch all of the action all weekend long. Stop into one of those great locations of Buffalo Wild Wings.
Hit it, Tyler.
Pick three, it's time for the pick three. 3 for you and 3 for me, that equals a pick 3. Say goodbye to your family, it's time for the pick 3. Only time that I'm happy is when it's time for pick 3. Pick 3. Pick 3.
All right, time for the Pick 3 brought to you by our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings. Tell us about B-Dubs.
Great place to hang out all weekend long for all of your college football action, NFL Sunday ticket. Birmingham's best sports bar for the last 20 years. Stop into one of those convenient locations throughout Central Alabama of Buffalo Wild Wings.
Let's run through some non-SEC games here on the Pick 3. Remember, you can play it at nextroundlive.com. Nextroundlive.com. Pick your 3 games. Try to go 3-0. Get a ball in the bucket. Remember, you know what we always say, more balls the better. More balls in the bucket, better chance of winning at the end of the year. Let's go late night on Fox. UCLA and Oregon. Looks good in the uniforms. Looks good on paper. Should be a pretty crappy game. Is there a chance that Dylan Gabriel, who one time at UCF passed for 601 yards against Memphis back in 2020, can he approach 600 passing yards in this game?
Possibly. You know, I was really impressed and disappointed at the same time because at lanceslock.com, we had LSU minus the 22.5 this past Saturday. I didn't think there was any way the UCLA team I saw get completely dominated in the Rose Bowl by Indiana, that they would come across the country and actually fight, and they did. So I give Deshaun Foster a lot of credit. LSU ended up stretching away in the second half. They didn't get the cover, but now they take on an Oregon team. In their last 18 against UCLA, 15-3 straight up, 11-6-1 against the number. UCLA is just not a good team.
They are.
And dating back to 1990, this is the first time they have closed as back-to-back 20-plus point underdogs since 1990. But it's not a good product. I think Oregon will have their way in the Rose Bowl. And I think Oregon, we finally saw the get-right Oregon team against Oregon State and Corvallis. They're coming off a bye. I think Oregon clicks. I think they run away with it.
Yeah, this is such a bad UCLA team. And I hate it for Deshaun Foster. I think we all kind of felt sorry for the way all that played out with him, and big Pac-12 media days, or Big Ten media days, I'm sorry. Habits are hard to break.
Get this right.
Hard to break, Lance. And we were, I think, all pulling for him to do well after that. I kind of felt sorry for the guy, but boy, they're going to be a bad football team. I mean, 1-11 is absolutely in the cards.
Oh,
them.
it is.
They could easily do
and
that.
I don't see any road to victory Saturday against the Oregon Ducks. And by the way, I like the fact that we get a 10 o'clock Central kickoff.
Yeah, main Fox for that one. I have not seen a cancellation of Colorado UCF. Has anybody else seen a cancellation in Orlando there?
Yep.
If they do play the game, it's Travis Hunter, who's had 7 catches, 100 yards receiving in every game so far. Big defensive plays going up against Gus Malzahn in UCF there in that contest. KJ Jefferson running that Gus Malzahn offense. Boy, I feel like this is it was my upset alert. I feel like there's an opportunity here if KJ Jefferson has one of his bad Arkansas days for Colorado to get a marquee win.
Well, he hadn't had it yet. And here's what I would say, though. Colorado in the 19, I'm trying to see exactly how many games it's been with, Deion's been there 16 games at Colorado, 7 as a favorite, 6-1 straight up, but as an underdog, 9 times 1-8 straight up. They haven't been good in this situation, and more so, KJ Jefferson hasn't made mistakes, but RJ Harvey running the football right now, 448 yards, almost 8 yards a carry. He's been fantastic. Colorado will have no answer for that.
Speaking of running the football, I know there's a few people out there that will occasionally make a wager. If you're like me, you've lost a lot of player totals this year on Ollie freaking Gordon at Oklahoma State. What's broken with this guy? Last year he was automatic on the over yards rush. The guy's not running the football now.
One thing that's broken with him is they never give him the football a lot.
He's averaging 18 carries a game.
I know. I mean, and this is a guy that at one point, I think in jest, Mike Gundy was talking about giving it to him 50 times in a single game, and now he's not even taking the rock at all.
Well, just because he hadn't been effective. The only time we really saw him was effective was in the overtime against Arkansas. And Ollie Gordon held without a rushing touchdown in back-to-back games for the first time since weeks 3 and 4 of 2023. And that is back before Mike Gundy and Oklahoma State found their offense in 2023 en route to winning 10 games. Something seems broken, not just Ollie Gordon. Alan Bowman hasn't played well. And this has got to be one of those get-right spots for Kansas State and Chris Kleiman. Chris Kleiman typically doesn't lose these type of games. He'll lose one of those one-offs like he did last week in Provo, but I fully expect Kansas State to bounce back and win this game.
Boy, they better hope that's a one-off in Provo because they were absolutely horrific on offense in that game.
Before we get to the Alabama, Georgia, and Auburn, Oklahoma part of our pick 3 here, we remind you that our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, guys, as you go from your 20s to your 30s and 30s to 40s and so on, stay on top of your health with our friends at UCA, Urology Centers of Alabama. 16 great locations across the great state of Alabama. Find the location near you by going to their website, urologycentersalabama.com, urologycentersalabama.com. And again, tomorrow's another big, long day of watching college football. Sunday's another big, long day of watching NFL football, a doubleheader on Monday night. So why not give that significant other in your life a trip to Woodhouse, the Woodhouse Day Spa, where Taylor and EG and all of the friends of our show that has made their way up to Woodhouse, they've enjoyed it every time. You can't beat the Woodhouse.
Yeah, so you're sitting there right now and you're like, you know what? I want to watch football all weekend. And what is a good way to soften the blow? Go online right now to the birmingham.woodhousespas.com. You can order a gift card right there. Let the wife or girlfriend choose from a menu of over 70 options, including massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. The Woodhouse Day Spa voted America's best day spa since 2009. Order that special person gift online 24/7, birmingham.woodhousespas.com, or just stop and see Stuart and that fantastic staff and tell them the next round sent you.
Why? Do you think it's because of the 12-team playoff or the absence of Nick Saban or both that this doesn't get like game of the century, game of the decade like Bill? I mean, it's not the same buzz. It's a buzzy day here in Tuscaloosa. It's going to be crazier tomorrow, but it does feel like loser, obviously still alive. It doesn't feel that urgency.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's just that if you lose this game, your season is far from done.
Yeah,
and that would not be the case in the past. And now with these two teams, there's a chance they would rematch in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it was so different in 2011, and that's the 2019. We could talk about that game too. I know you mentioned this earlier. The last time Donald Trump was in the house and Alabama lost to Joe Burrow and the eventual national champions. But in 2011, that game was in November.
Yep.
And the loser of that game really had no chance to get to Atlanta and be able to rebound and play for the BCS National Championship. And you had the weird upset on that Friday night in Ames,
right,
where Oklahoma State was a 24.5-point favorite.
Yep.
And they end up losing the game. And we remember the strip out here. Everybody was celebrating. And Alabama ultimately had the rematch against LSU. Now that we're in a 12-team situation, going into this season, you knew big brands like Alabama and like Georgia, they could absorb 2 losses and they would still be fine. The problem is Alabama and Georgia both have big games coming after this one. So winner is going to be in a really, really good situation to be not only a team in the college football playoff, but a team probably in Atlanta.
There are places, not at mybookie.ag, where Alabama's still a 1-point dog, but I think MGM had Alabama favored by 1.
Yeah, that flipped in the last hour to Alabama now a 1-point favorite in this game.
It's going to be wild if Alabama goes off as a favorite. They still haven't been a home dog since 2007.
Yeah. Well, Paul asks the question, you're our gambling guru. Does that mean, quote unquote, the smart money has come in on Alabama here late, that it's gone from where it was to Alabama now -1?
For it to go to, really, it was stationary Georgia 2 for the majority of the week. For it to flip right now to Alabama 1, significant money. And I'm not talking about tickets. I'm not talking about volume. I'm talking about straight up money has come on Alabama. And again, this is not an end-all be-all, but that's typically a good sign for Alabama.
We do now know who the guest picker is. Have you seen this?
I'm going Channing Tatum still.
Not Channing Tatum. Not even particularly close.
I'm going to go Terry Saban.
It is Terry Saban.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I think that'll actually be a pretty entertaining
it will be.
segment.
Seems a little lazy, but it'll be entertaining.
Well, I'll go steak right now with you. Terry Saban outpicks Nick Saban.
I was telling somebody earlier, Saban's terrible at his picks.
He really is.
Yeah,
he really is.
No, he said his granddaughter was getting on him last Saturday.
Amelie?
Yeah, he said his granddaughter was. She was.
I forgot what. Terrible. Oh, it was the Iron Skillet when he said, "Oh, TCU." Like we already had SMU, and that just made it feel like we have reinforced this SMU pick.
So which side of the Saban battle do you want, Terry or Nick?
I think they probably already talk about it, and they're like, "Hey, let's both go Alabama, or let's both go Georgia."
No, I'm talking about all the picks. I will go back and watch it and check it.
I want nothing to do with it because I ain't gonna be watching.
Okay, I was gonna check it. I think Terry's gonna come in knowing what she's talking about.
I always watch the pick segment. That feels like the first part of the game day to me. Because when the picks are over, they go right into the game.
I'm still scrambling around. I had to battle the streaming last night because we had the Amazon Prime game with the Cowboys and the Giants. And it seems like you push one button. I don't know how to go previous channel and back and forth and all this stuff. So I'm always battling right around 11 o'clock to get all the games set up.
Have you thrown a remote yet this year?
I have not. I've only got one.
Oh,
I don't want to throw it.
You can't throw that thing. That's expensive.
Yeah. All right. More of the pick 3, but you can play it all the way up until kickoff tomorrow. Just go to nextroundlive.com, nextroundlive.com. You'll see the Buffalo Wild Wings location there, and just click on that. It's absolutely free. You go 3-0, you get a ball in the bucket. Get as many balls as you want in the bucket there. At the end of the year, we draw for the big prize that comes from several places, including our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings, who brings us the Pick 3 nextroundlive.com. If you're out grilling this weekend, we always suggest you stop by and see our friends at New York Butcher Shop, 2 great locations if you're in the Birmingham metro area.
Yeah, so I picked up dinner there on Tuesday night, some great fillets, Wednesday night meatloaf. I mean, anything you get from the New York Butcher Shop is absolutely fantastic. It will save you from having to do all the work. They've got those sides already ready just to heat up. They've got a great selection of desserts, fine wines. 2 locations, Highway 119 in Greystone, the original in Cahaba Heights. Stop and see Jim and the great staff. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well done service.
Aaron Suttle's expected to be with us here at the Rabbit Hole later on this afternoon. A lot with you folks when we come back on this big game weekend in college football, including the question, a win tomorrow and Kirby Smart slides into Nick Saban's place as the still active best coach in college football. It's still open right now. That debate is. Could it be somebody else? We'll talk about that when we come back. The folks at the Pants Store. You think it's Kirby already? The loss tomorrow, you may feel different. The Pants Store, pantstore.com, dressing not only Little T and AG on game days. Emily Grace will be here for the big game tomorrow. Taylor will be down at Auburn for Oklahoma-Auburn tomorrow, dressed by our friends at the Pants Store. Great locations, including here in Tuscaloosa, also in Auburn, in Huntsville, in Leeds, and all over the Birmingham metro area. Pantstore.com, pantstore.com, all the great polos and quarter zip for you Bama and Auburn fans out there, and also the dresses and the rompers for the ladies. Free alterations, free gift wrapping, and the best brands out there. It's Pants Store, pantstore.com. Back to Tuscaloosa and the Rabbit Hole when we come back on the next round.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
By now, you guys know how I feel about my fashion. However, did you know that I care about your fashion choices? Cargo shorts are out, flip-flops are only appropriate on the boat, and please throw away that stained t-shirt from college. You may be thinking, EG, that's all I own. What do I do? Here's what you do. Go to nextround.store and fill your cart with a wardrobe that is approved by me. Stock up on logo t-shirts, hoodies for football season, and hats for every day of the week. Trust me on this one and head over to nextround.store to get stocked up for this season.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
From the creators of The Next Round comes two new sites, covercrimson.com and thebarnauburn.com. Two team sites with the same excitement and information-driven content that you get every day on The Next Round. Live daily shows, recorded shows, free of charge, plus premium content with insider information starting at just $1. And it's the perfect gift for the Alabama or Auburn fan in your family. Covercrimson.com or thebarnauburn.com. Sign up today.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Hey, this is Matt Roth, the franchisee of Walk On Sports Bistro in Birmingham. With the kickoff of football season, come visit us at one of our 3 locations, Stadium Trace, Greystone, or Trussville. Come enjoy our scratch kitchen menu while watching one of our 80 TVs. Whether you're looking for a pre- or post-game celebration, game day, or date night, we've got you covered. It's all about the win at Walk On Sports Bistro. Walk On, it's where everybody needs a little playing time.
You never know what we're up to here at The Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow The Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunsford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in. Happy football season. At The Next Round, we strive to make our loyal listeners feel like they're a part of the action all season long. My name is Emily Grace McWhorter, and I do that by bringing you along for any given Saturday in Auburn or Tuscaloosa. From pregame warm-ups, touchdowns that make you feel a part of the play, and everything in between, our goal is to make you feel like you're inside Bryant-Denny or Jordan Hare. Follow along on our social media at Next Round Live on Instagram, X, and Facebook. Also, check out thebarnauburn.com and covercrimson.com while you're at it. Here's to fall Saturdays.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hour number 2 of 3 today from the Rabbit Hole. Thank you to the fine folks at the Rabbit Hole. Brownie, you just tried what part of the great menu they have here?
Man, I cannot remember the name of the dog, Dunaway, but it's a brat. I think it's the Wonder Dog, if I'm not mistaken. It was absolutely terrific. It's a brat. It's got cheese, bacon bits, their special sauce, and it comes with onions, as you know. I say no onions, right? But it was terrific. I mean, a fantastic.
What was
dog.
amazing was how quick you ate that.
I scarfed that down.
Yeah.
Well, that's a 4-minute break. I wanted to beat the finish line.
I've heard they've got a great chicken sandwich here.
It
The
looked
food
good.
looks great.
Yeah.
So drop by, see us. We'll be here till 3 o'clock. They'll be going all night, getting ready for Georgia, Alabama tomorrow.
Taylor EG here as well. They got sliders, it looks like, and a little cheese dip rolling over there. Yeah,
Buffalo chicken.
Okay, buffalo chicken dip rolling. So all good stuff here at the Rabbit Hole. And our friends at Bud Light are here as well. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy, and a big gift table and a wheel in the back.
Yeah, you said you've got the limited edition Alabama aluminum 16 ounces right there. We had some free Bud Light earlier. They're doing some sampling here, but
let's do that. Everybody raise your beer. I like that.
There we go.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Here's some football Saturdays.
We have a bunch of reps from Bud Light, though, and they are passing out merch. You come, you spin the wheel. You've got you win everything from a Peter Millar collared scripted A, really, really cool golf shirt. They've got that bomber jacket. We've got some next round gear out there. But come by, hang out with us, and this is just a great football atmosphere.
Hey, and for the is that Herb Street still? No.
Could be.
Yeah, you never know. For the audience in attendance, we got a microphone if you want to ask a question.
Oh, Jack, come ask us a question.
Yeah,
Jack, the former intern, come ask a question.
Yeah, so when we used to have fun with our post game coverage, and I would go live from my basement, and you guys were at your respective joints.
Yep.
I remember Jack Poole jumped on us one night live from his fraternity house,
Yeah.
and I guess he got banned after that one time, the one appearance. I don't think you ever joined us again, did you? You talking to the mic? You got a mic.
Never invited back.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We did a hell of a job teaching him as an intern. He doesn't even talk into the mic.
I know. What did you learn with us as an intern?
I learned that the sports entertainment industry is a lot bigger than it seems.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Are you still?
I don't. Wait, what do you mean by that?
That was a serious answer.
Yeah.
I remember you being so cut up.
Does that mean we've gotten lost in the sports media industry? We've been swallowed up.
Slide this way a little bit so you're better on camera. Slide towards me a little bit so you're on camera. There you go. Let's go. Right
Yeah.
there. All right.
Do that for the ladies.
For the
Jack.
ladies. Ladies want to see you.
Shout out.
Shout
No,
out.
you got some ladies
Yeah, he's
scraping
got,
for you.
he's
dude.
got a short inseam on though. Keep those legs crossed. I don't want you to go Leon from Kerr. Scare anybody off.
They don't call it a big game weekend for nothing, LT.
Yeah. So what's your major now?
Advertising.
Advertising.
Oh,
You
there
learn
we
from the
go.
best right here.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Urology centers for Alabama.
There we go. Yeah, so throw us a good question there, Jack Poole.
I don't have a question, but Lance, I got to tell you, the pick of the weekend for value is the Louisville Cardinals at Notre Dame.
Oh, look at them clapping.
Okay.
+205. That is the pick of the weekend.
Not that when you get a bunch of fraternity guys down here on one side of a game, you know it's a winner.
so it's all Notre Dame, you're saying.
I wonder
right?
why I just unsubscribed from your website.
Whoa. Hey, 3-0 last night, Jack. Proven commodity.
This is where I hit you with a rock.
We were doing this when you were in grade school, my friend.
Yeah. In fact, you built some of these houses around here, didn't you, LT?
Yeah.
So you like Louisville on the road against Notre Dame. You're not a fan of Riley Leonard right now, right?
Doesn't show me much.
Doesn't show you much.
Nope.
In the Louisville game, did you know they're banged up at wide receiver? They may not have a starting wide receiver playing in this game. Does that scare you at all? There's some questionable guys playing, may or not play game time decisions at wide receiver. Did you know that, or were you just going off some kind of rhythm that you came up with in the frat house?
That was unbeknownst to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a line out of Nick Saban's book and say, next man up.
Next man up. Yeah. And they've got a ton of those at Louisville, my friend.
Yeah, the only problem Louisville might have in this game, we saw how good Notre Dame's defense was in College Station. And you look at a Louisville offense that is yet to turn the football over. They've only given up 2 sacks. They've just stepped up in competition. I don't know. I think the number's about right. Notre Dame sitting as a 6-point favorite. Game that I am going to pass on. I don't have a problem with your Louisville pick, just for the record. I hate that you guys unsubscribe. Like one guy pays $100 and like 70 guys jump in and share the pick.
I know. That's it. You lose one game.
Okay, we're about to tell you about Wonder Fan, which is a new cool app. Okay. But if you were DJ and if this was midnight at night and you were DJ and we're at some bar in Tuscaloosa, what song would Jack spin right now? What's your favorite song right now?
Here's our first awkward question of the day, everybody.
Yep. Jimmy Awkward showing up early.
Crunk that.
Crunk that. There we go. You familiar with that one?
You know
what's that?
Whoop that trick.
Oh, whoop that trick. Can you name the movie that's from?
No.
Hustle and Flow. It actually won an Academy Award, believe it or not, the song did.
I got one for you. Looper.
You talking about the movie
The
Looper?
movie Looper? Yeah, that's an old movie.
Yeah, a time warp back and forth with Bruce Willis as a hitman.
Yeah.
Fucks you up here.
Yeah. That's one way to put it there.
That's that way, Jack.
I see your mom over there, Jack. She loves your language. Very proud of Sailor Mouth here.
One more thing Jack learned with us, apparently.
Yeah. Jack told me earlier that he's saving the what is it? The white men in dunking contest?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Jack.
All
Jack,
right,
former intern.
Yeah. Thank you, Jack.
Brought to you by our friends at WonderFan. Tell us about WonderFan, LT.
Yeah, any of you guys out there, you're going to be heading to the game more than likely. WonderFan is really cool. First of its kind stadium rewards app. Sports fans earn real rewards simply by cheering for your favorite team. All you got to do is go to the App Store, put in WonderFan, WUNDERFAN. Once you get to the stadium, you check in, let your earnings grow. It's that easy. During each game you attend, you'll earn in the background. Once you press start, once you have enough earnings, you can redeem them for cash vouchers to your favorite retailers, Dick's, Champion, Lululemon, 47 brand, and more. There's even weekly ticket giveaways. You can use your points to enter. New rewards added weekly again. Just go to the App Store, search WonderFan, and start being paid for your fan loyalty. WonderFan, it pays to be a fan.
And also our friends at Precision Sports and Orthopedics. Go to the website you'll see on your screen here in a second and check out the great locations near you, including in Alabaster, Fultondale, also all over the Birmingham metro area, all the way up to Jasper. They'll get you back in the game. Orthopedic care, better together, our friends at Precision Sports. You'll see them on high school football sidelines tonight. But you don't have to be a high school player or a college player, a weekend warrior. They'll get you back to work as well. Our friends at Precision Sports, go and check them out. All right. How many undefeated? Just quickly, don't look, don't cheat.
Not looking.
How many undefeated teams left in the SEC right now as we go into this weekend?
I would say that there are 7 undefeated teams in the SEC.
That is incorrect, Brownie.
Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Texas. Oh, I can't count?
You're not supposed to.
Okay, 5.
Quick answer. It is 6 in between you two. Missouri and Tennessee.
Right.
Georgia and Ole Miss, Texas and Alabama. What about the Big Ten? How many unbeaten teams right now?
The Big Ten has got 5 undefeated teams.
Yeah, Oregon, Ohio State,
Rutgers,
6
Illinois, Indiana.
6 is the answer. Rutgers, probably the one that surprises people. Penn State, Oregon, Ohio State, Illinois, and the team you think is actually pretty good, Coach Sig in Indiana.
That was my upset alert. I was out Tuesday, but I left one behind. I'm taking it you didn't like it. I got Maryland.
Well, it's not that I dislike this. I see a team almost every couple of years that comes out of nowhere. They're not only a team that wins games, they cover games. And I don't know where you're supposed to put this Indiana number. It was a big number on the road against UCLA, or at least they were favored, I should say. And now you've got Maryland coming in.
It's still at 6.5.
Yeah, I just don't think you can list this at double digits. I just think Curtis Rourke, a quarterback that has a ton of experience from Ohio, comes in from the MAC, former MAC Offensive Player of the Year. He's not making mistakes. They're moving the chains on third downs. And Cignetti came in, back to the Big Ten Media Days. He said, you know what? We're going to be playing in Indianapolis. We're going to play for the conference championship this year. Everybody laughed, including us.
Yeah, I think everybody would laugh at that.
And now you start to look at this schedule. I mean, they might be favored in, the remaining games outside of Ohio State. So this is their first real challenge, we'll call it.
How many unbeaten teams left in the ACC? I'll go ahead and give you Jack's big Louisville team still unbeaten.
And Miami is.
Yeah, Duke is. Pittsburgh is. I think it's 4.
Yeah.
It is 4. Pitt's the one that would surprise people. Louisville, Duke, Miami, and Pitt. Does Duke have a problem with North Carolina for the victory bell this weekend?
Yeah, it's a tight game. I mean, North Carolina is only a 2.5-point underdog in this game in Durham.
Yeah, typically, so Duke is 4-0 for the second straight season. We remember last year, Riley Leonard and Duke under Mike Elko. They opened 4-0. They're hosting Notre Dame. They should have gone to 5-0. They blew a big 4th down that Notre Dame scores on. They get the 2-point conversion. Riley Leonard comes out, gets hurt. The season kind of goes the other way. North Carolina, and saying it out loud again, scored 50 points at home and lost by 20 last week.
I just don't think it's ever happened. I'm with you. There's no way that's happened in major college football.
I don't think the defense can be any worse than they were against James Madison. Now, you've got a quarterback for Duke that we remember seeing last year, backup for Texas.
and he transfers into Duke, and he's been really, really good. Manny Diaz is a head coach. I was never a big fan. I think North Carolina will come to play. I think it's a really good game. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Carolina goes on the road, gives Duke their first loss.
Forrester just let me know from the back row back in the studio that Liberty and Appalachian State has been canceled.
I did see that.
That's starting the cancellation wave. I think we'll see some more of that on the East Coast games as that hurricane continues to work its way up through Georgia and North Carolina, Tennessee, and all that.
Yeah, Forrester, keep an eye on the UCF game with Colorado, just simply because of the infrastructure down in Florida with the landfall. Yeah,
that's the problem. The storm will be through for that one, but that's one of those where they don't want to stress, the state troopers and the EMS and people like that, so they don't play the game.
And flying Colorado in today.
Yeah.
One more conference, the Big 12. How many unbeaten teams left there? Of the Power 4?
Boy, not a lot. I know you've got BYU.
BYU is one.
And you have
Just
Utah. That's it.
Utah, UCF, who I just mentioned,
UCF.
with Gus. They've got a big game with Colorado. And we forget about Iowa State hanging around.
Boy.
Right now.
Boy, I mean,
the Clones
squeaked one out against Iowa.
But Rocco Beck is
counts.
doing things. He's just one of those gritty quarterbacks. Anthony Beck, former NFL tight end, his son, they were really a tough out last year towards the end of the year. They've been undefeated, or they're undefeated up until this point. You mentioned the Iowa game, the Cyhawk. I think that might be their turnaround. That is the one team that nobody talks about right now in the Big 12 that is good enough to actually win the conference.
Royal Payne in the MyBookie.ag chat room back to Pitt says Eli Holstein is balling out. 172 passer rating, 12 touchdowns, 2 picks, 1,183 pass yards so far. I've only watched them once, and it was against West Virginia in the backyard brawl, and West Virginia could not stop Eli Holstein.
Yeah, a couple of times over 300 yards passing this year. The former Alabama quarterback now getting it done at Pitt after the portal. Tell us about Hydra Live, and then we'll get into 4 downs in just a second. Hydra Live, boy, in this town, man, if you come off of a bad, hard Friday or Saturday night, get ready for your class or your next game with our friends at Hydra Live.
It will be lined up tomorrow out the door at Hydra Live, especially the Tuscaloosa location. The way to do it, though, is pregame. Get in front of it. Get the IV before the big weekend, and you can do that. IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy. It's all under one roof. And right now, they've got weight loss therapy as well. Hydra Live combines hydration therapy with targeted weight loss treatments. They provide a comprehensive approach to weight management. You can book your appointment online. HydraLifeTherapy.com. Walk-ins are welcome. Very important. Mention the next round, 20% off all of those incredible services. 2 locations in Birmingham, 1 in Tuscaloosa. Very important. Mention the next round, and you're going to get 20% off from our friends at Hydra Life Therapy.
Real quick, Morgan in the MyBookie.ag chat room lives in in Kentucky, and he says the hurricane has already stalled out up there. So he says
rain.
Well, yeah, that's what he says. Look for Indiana and Maryland to be a weather game. Like, it's stalled out, so it could be windy and wet in that one.
Yeah, if it was this windy tomorrow, which it will not be, and these wind gusts here today, and we're nowhere close to the impact of the storm. Can you imagine kicking and passing in this,
no, not at all.
right now?
No, wind is a pain in the ass. I lived in Kansas for a summer. You guys know that, and the wind would get up to like 45 degrees, and wind is depressing. It's frustrating, and shit flies everywhere. Right?
Yeah,
all the above.
Absolutely. And don't forget, NASCAR is coming back to Talladega. Before I'm gonna play name that quarterback. Who's gonna be the quarterback tomorrow? Who would you start?
Okay.
But NASCAR, they start racing again in Talladega October 4th through the 6th. Get your tickets right now. Yellowwood 500 weekend. Don't forget to upgrade to the Cool Ray Garage Experience. Garage Experience presented by Cool Ray, right there with our friends at NASCAR. Go simply to TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com to get your tickets. Quinn Ewers is questionable. Could play, it sounds like, against Mississippi State. You're 30.5-point favorite if you're Sark.
Nope.
Do you rest Quinn Ewers again, or do you and play Arch Manning, or do you go with Quinn?
I play Arch, and just any seat time Arch is getting. Quinn Ewers doesn't really need that. Now, what do they've got a bye and then the Red River. Am I right about that, Lance?
That's right.
Remember?
Yep. And then Georgia.
That's the one thing that gives me a little hesitation. I do want Quinn Ewers in some sort of rhythm going into the Red River. Like, I don't know that he needs to play outside of the fact that I'm not sure with that Oklahoma defense, I want to just drop him in for his first start back.
Yeah, but Quinn Ewers is a guy that third year as a starting quarterback. He is injury prone. So, yeah, I would let Arch roll out there, do his thing. And, more importantly here, it's going to be about Texas using that running back by committee led by Jaden Blue. Mississippi State's rush defense has been awful. They gave up 346 on the ground to Arizona State. Florida had over 6 yards per carry. They've given up 7 rushing touchdowns in their last 3 games. So I think Texas can just go out there, go through the motions. They're going to roll over Mississippi State. Last time these two met, the 1999 Cotton Bowl, you know who the starting running back and quarterback duo was for Texas?
1999 Cotton?
Yep.
I am going to go. Boy, the quarterback's going to be tough.
Well, the running back's going to be easy. He won a Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, it's Ricky Williams, the running back.
And he went 203 yards, 2 touchdowns on Mississippi State.
Boy, the quarterback, that is tough, though. I can't remember who the quarterback was.
He's coaching in the SEC this week.
And he was a Texas quarterback?
Yep.
It's going to be Major Applewhite for South Alabama.
Applewhite. 225 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the 38-11 Texas win back in the 99 Cotton Bowl.
My bank account helps pay his salary, and I can't even figure it out.
Yep. This is a more interesting quarterback choice you have to make. Connor Wegman or Marcel Reed as Texas A&M and Arkansas play this weekend.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Marcel Reed just based on the fact he's the first Aggie quarterback with 2 passing touchdowns and 80-plus rushing yards since Johnny Manziel in 2020. I mean, he's been really good at running the football, and you look at A&M, you know, this is a team that's rushed for 200-plus in 3 straight games. If they do that against Arkansas, a team that has lost 11 of 12 to A&M, I think A&M wins this game. If Arkansas can do what Dallas did last night against the Giants and stop the rush, I think if Taylor Green is on, I think Arkansas wins
What's
the game.
weird is his best game so far has been at Florida.
Marcel's,
yeah. I mean, he played McNeese State and Bowling Green. They only beat Bowling Green by a touchdown. That was a tight game for Texas A&M.
Yeah, for Arkansas, though, Jaquindon Jackson wasn't good last week, and the 5 turnovers ultimately won them that game on the road against Auburn. He's got to be a little bit better. Still leads the SEC, 4th in the FBS with 472 rushing yards.
Time for 4 Downs today, brought to you by the 5 great locations around Birmingham of Slice Pizza, the best pizza you'll ever put in your mouth.
Yeah, make sure you stop into Slice. Check out our friends, the Bajaya brothers, created by the late Jeff Bajaya, his brothers Jason and Chris. Continue to celebrate his legacy. The original Lakeview location, Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park, newest location in Edgewood. Local pizza, local ingredients. It's Slice.
First down.
More total offensive touchdowns tomorrow in the Big House, Minnesota, Michigan. I still think the worst quarterback situation in football right now
is Michigan.
Or
no, you say it's Minnesota.
Minnesota.
That's even worse.
Or in Jordan-Hare, Oklahoma-Auburn. Who has more offensive touchdowns?
I'll go Oklahoma-Auburn.
I'll go Oklahoma and Auburn as well. I think it's a good day for Auburn's offense, relatively speaking.
Ooh. I don't, but I think
are we saying offensive touchdown or
he said offensive?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that Michigan-Minnesota game could be played like 10-7.
Yeah, I still think Michigan's got a borderline elite defense.
They do.
And Oklahoma, I think, has a borderline elite defense.
They do.
So I think touchdowns are going to be at a premium when you're talking about how much Auburn has struggled at the quarterback position. Same for Brosmer, for PJ Fleck.
How many at Jordan-Hare Stadium? How many less than 50-yard touchdown drives do you think you get tomorrow? Because if you turn the ball over, you get a short field and you score touchdowns that way.
I made the point on social media last night that, I stumbled across this during the show yesterday, that Oklahoma is 2nd in the country in turnover margin. They are +7. And that's 2nd out of 133. Auburn is dead last in the country in turnover margin. They are -10, which is 133 out of 133.
That's bad.
Yeah, not even turnover margin, just more so Oklahoma is number 1 in takeaways.
That's right.
They've got 12 takeaways. Auburn has 14 turnovers. That is a terrible combination for this Auburn offense.
But someone also on Twitter reminded me 5 of those 12 came in that one game against Temple when they coughed it 5 times. So, but I don't take that away. I mean, you're still creating turnovers, but I do think Auburn will have multiple turnovers in this game. And boy, I tell you, Dunaway, to your point, if they give a freshman quarterback a short field like that, that spells doom for Auburn.
You know, and what's interesting right now, I think if you talk to these two fan bases coming off the losses last week, I think they're really disappointed. But I don't think either fan base maybe thinks they've got their coach of the future, which is kind of crazy because Venables, after 10 wins in year 2 last year, gets the 5-year contract extension from Joe Castellana, their athletics director. And Auburn fans, a good majority, turned quickly after the loss last week to Arkansas. So I think if you sample these fan bases, I'd be shocked if more than half believe these are their coaches of the future.
Second down.
Steve Kerr, 59 years old. The late Meatloaf would have been 77. Better career, Steve Kerr or Meatloaf?
All right, so Meatloaf, 2 out of 3 ain't bad was a hit.
Yeah, right. Was in Fight Club, was in Leap of Faith. Did some other movies.
He was in that movie with the bouncer and the guy you like a lot that ended up dying of cancer. pancreatic cancer, I think. He was the
Patrick Swayze?
Yeah.
Meatloaf was
Meatloaf was not in Roadhouse.
He wasn't one of his bouncer friends.
No. He was not. There was a fat guy in it, but it wasn't Meatloaf.
Was it Meatloaf?
Yeah.
right,
Steve Kerr has got multiple championships as a player and a coach.
Yeah, Steve Kerr, easy. Here.
Yeah, but Steve Kerr kind of got gifted
Easy
both.
now. Yeah, easy now. Meatloaf had a good career.
No, Meatloaf had 2 good albums. He named them the same.
But
thing.
if you would have been the 15th man on the Bulls roster, they still would have won a championship.
Yeah, but
if you would have been the head coach for Golden State, they still would have won a championship.
But he did all those
now
things.
see Doc Rivers. Wasn't it who was the
Doc
coach?
Rivers? No.
Who was the coach before Steve Kerr?
It was Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson. Okay, they did
And
not win a championship.
he still takes credit for it.
Yeah, he helped build it.
Yeah,
he helped build it. No,
that's what they say about Tony Dungy, right?
Steve Kerr, easy.
All right, so
I'll go Meatloaf just because I don't like Steve Kerr.
Meatloaf was in Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah,
You're not thinking of that.
Something, The Confessions of the Dashboard.
He was in Leap of Faith.
I mentioned that. Yeah, he was a
Wayne's
bus
World. Oh, he was with Patrick Swayze. Black Dog is what you're thinking of. Now, tell me if this movie sounds good. It was Meatloaf, Patrick Swayze, and Randy Travis.
I'm going to say no.
You don't
just
think so?
Based on the cast?
Yeah. It's called a thriller/drama. Was it thrilling and/or dramatic?
I did not see it.
Oh, okay.
Let's do third down.
Most thrilling thing was the ending, right? When you saw the credits.
Third down.
Avril Lavigne, 40 years old today. Gwyneth Paltrow, 52. Better career, Avril Lavigne or Gwyneth Paltrow?
I mean, Avril Lavigne's just pissed off all the time. It just she is so angry with her music.
It's complicated.
It is. So I'm going to go Gwyneth Paltrow. Don't really care about her career.
She's got a candle, right?
She does. Yeah, interesting scent. But I am going to go with Gwyneth Paltrow just because Avril Lavigne's too pissed off for me.
I'm going to go Avril Lavigne. She doesn't wear clothes that fit, but she did not name her kid Apple.
That is true. She did not name her kid Apple.
Gwyneth Paltrow because of her acting.
Yeah.
I do like I like both of them.
Well, I mean, Avril Lavigne's a singer.
Yeah. No, I like both of them.
Oh.
One's acting. I like Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
I do like Avril Lavigne, but that was the 90s.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago now.
If the MyBookie.ag chat room was a song, Avril Lavigne. God, I can't say it either.
Avril Lavigne.
Would have
Who
sung
do
it.
you think people hate most? Avril Lavigne's former ex, Chad Kroeger, the guy from Nickelback,
right?
Or Chris Martin, the lead singer for Coldplay? Because I know a lot of people dislike Coldplay too.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Chad Kroeger, but I think that is much closer than it used to be.
Fourth down.
I told Taylor that this was going to be one of the most controversial 4-down questions in the history of 4-down.
Well, we've had some. Is this a birthday?
Lil Wayne, 42.
Uh-huh.
Lil Wayne or John Wayne?
Oh my God.
Not
Is
even
this
close.
a real question?
Lil Wayne, better career.
What? Are you out of your mind? Lil Wayne's had a better career than John Wayne?
Lil
Wayne?
I mean, there are some people that think Lil Wayne is considered a top 5 rapper of all
Look,
time.
I mean, John Wayne.
This
he's
isn't
got
even
one thing, he was a
close. It's Lil
cowboy.
Wayne.
What did you say, Tyler?
It's not even close. The answer is Lil Wayne.
Tyler, you're out of your mind. John Wayne was the biggest name in Hollywood for.
Well, he was a draft dodger,
Well,
right?
they also didn't really let a whole lot of people in Hollywood back then, and that's why you had John Wayne as Genghis Khan.
Like, well, I know John Wayne should not have played Genghis Khan. I am not going to argue that one.
John Wayne wasn't a good actor.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't a good actor. I mean, is Lil Wayne a good singer? No, he can rap. He can't sing.
His lyrics are really good though.
Yeah, I mean, you roll Lil Wayne out there to do the Star Spangled Banner Saturday night, he gets booed out of the stadium. That dude can't sing. He can rap.
What about if John Wayne went out for a draw?
He played Genghis
He
Khan.
gets shot in the head.
Nah, John Wayne over Lil Wayne anytime. And I know I sound like an
I
old
told
man.
you it was going to be controversial.
Yeah, I know I sound like an old man.
lean Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
But yeah, I lean Lil Wayne, but
not even close.
Hey, John Wayne was a Hollywood icon.
An icon.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Because
think
I remember the debate used to be John Wayne or Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Which I think
everybody's
is easy Clint Eastwood.
And everybody's like, well, he only played cowboys. Well, like 70% of the movies were Westerns back then, weren't they?
Yeah, Lil Wayne is kind of he's got one genre and that's kind of it. He's kind of limited, right?
I would say so. So is John Wayne. Yeah.
Well, I mean, at some point, you got to pass the torch on, right? You don't debate like who was who was the greatest country ever. Was it the Roman Empire or the United States?
Yeah, they
right?
all died. Well,
It's
not the United States yet.
It's USA, right?
Well, it is.
But
We're
at
still
that-
alive,
At
though.
the time, Roman Empire was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I think they had better health care at the Roman Empire.
Well, here's the thing, though. When you start arguing which country was better, the one that still exists is probably going to win the argument, right?
Yeah,
Roman
totally.
Empire does not exist,
Yeah.
but the United States does.
But the USA wasn't around back then. So.
Yeah, but if the Roman Empire had been that good, we'd
Okay.
still pay taxes to Caesar.
Yeah,
my
I know
man.
your point. Little Wayne is still here. John Wayne is not.
Yeah, you say that. You go back and watch
not
the
a-
Sopranos episode when they're shaking down the Mennonites at that hotel.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, where's the Roman Empire now? And he said, we're standing right in front of you.
That's 4 Downs today, brought to you by our friends at Slice. Tell us about Slice.
5 locations, lunch or dinner. Stop in, get a slice and a salad, get a couple of pies to go this weekend. You're going to love it. Go see the Bajaya Brothers from the Hot Mama to the Soul Pie, the Wing and a Prayer. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
We'll do our headlines coming up in the 11 o'clock hour, and hopefully Aaron Settle swings by here at some point. We'll get trash and our picks for the weekend coming up, where I think LT had a 2-in-1 week last week to either tie or take the lead in our Pick 3 race. Don't forget Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 3. You can go play it right now at nextroundlive.com, nextroundlive.com. The show is being brought to you in part by our friends at Odie's, where you can get by and enjoy music tonight down in Homewood. LT.
Yeah, always live music every Friday and Saturday. 2 locations, the original in Crestline, the one that we do Odie's Team Trivia from on Wednesday nights, the newest location right there in Edgewood on the corner of Oxmoor and Broadway. Get in, enjoy great food from the award-winning wings, delicious burgers, that Diablo sandwich, ice-cold beer buckets full of Bud Light all weekend long. Stop and see Will Haver and that great staff. It's Odie's Tavern.
And our friends at JohnstonRVCenter.com. The weather feels perfect, Brownie. It's time to get out and see America this fall.
Oh, there's no doubt. You can do that in an RV from Johnston RV Center, I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. Always online at JohnstonRVCenter.com. Travel trailers right now as low as $145 a month. Great pricing on that. You want a fifth wheel? How about savings $45,000 or more on a fifth wheel? All right there at Johnston RV Center. They also want to make sure you know you've got peace of mind. RV Warranty Forever gives you that lifetime warranty on anything new or previously owned. You can see everything at JohnstonRVCenter.com. That is JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Back in a moment from the rabbit hole. Brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Don't forget live music on this stage tonight at the Rabbit Hole, getting your weekend going.
Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken. Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
From the creators of The Next Round comes 2 new sites, covercrimson.com and thebarnauburn.com. 2 team sites with the same excitement and information-driven content that you get every day on The Next Round. Live daily shows, recorded shows, free of charge, plus premium content with insider information starting at just $1. And it's the perfect gift for the Alabama or Auburn fan in your family. Covercrimson.com or thebarnauburn.com. Sign up today.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
By now, you guys know how I feel about my fashion. However, did you know that I care about your fashion choices? Cargo shorts are out, flip-flops are only appropriate on the boat, and please throw away that stained t-shirt from college. You may be thinking, EG, that's all I own. What do I do? Here's what you do. Go to nextround.store and fill your cart with a wardrobe that is approved by me. Stock up on logo t-shirts, hoodies for football season, and hats for every day of the week. Trust me on this one and head over to nextround.store to get stocked up for this season.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
From the creators of The Next Round comes two new sites, covercrimson.com and thebarnauburn.com. Two team sites with the same excitement and information-driven content that you get every day on The Next Round. Live daily shows, recorded shows, free of charge, plus premium content with insider information starting at just $1. And it's the perfect gift for the Alabama or Auburn fan in your family. Covercrimson.com or thebarnauburn.com. Sign up today.
You can't wait for college football talk every Monday, so we don't make you wait. Ryan Brown here for The Next Round. You can catch ESPN's Tom Luganbill with Jim Dunaway on Monday Morning Live at 7 a.m. I'm with Brandon Marcello on the Middle 8 at 8 after The Next Round. Hear from Alabama coach Kalen DeBoer and Auburn coach Hugh Freeze. After the coaches talk, Fox Sports analyst Brock Hewer joins Lance Taylor for Unlocked at 1 o'clock. All college football, all day Monday, anywhere you get The Next Round.
Back with you on The Next Round as we continue on here in Tuscaloosa on the Strip at the Rabbit Hole as we roll into another big game weekend. Georgia and Alabama tomorrow night, 6:37 on ABC. Remember, get to the broadcast earlier.
Do you know how they got the name in the Rabbit Hole?
I do not.
So I walked in. It's a really, really cool just layout, how they've got this bar, the decor, everything about it. But there's a bunch of different artists that have come by, and there's kind of a mural. Thank you very much, sir. There's a mural on the ceiling, and you start looking at it, and there's a million different ways you could go with it. So there's so many different themes when you look up at the ceiling in the main bar area.
So you can go down the rabbit hole?
Go down a rabbit hole.
So did the art school in Tuscaloosa here do that?
Brown, I didn't get that deep on the conversation, but it looks interesting. Yeah.
Well, welcome to my world, man.
And
I'll say something to Brown. I always ask the great question that I'm always like, God, I should have thought of that and searched that out before I said it on the air.
So my apologies, guys. That's just that's the way
I didn't have time to go down that rabbit hole.
Well played.
Lanceslock.com, lanceslock.com. Jack knows is a great place to go for your place tonight, brought to you by our friends at Hemphill.
He knows. 3-0 coming off last night. Jump on board with us. We've got 3 plays up today, 1 in Major League Baseball. We've got both sides of the college football action tonight between Virginia Tech and Miami, Washington, Rutgers. Jump on board with us. Win all day. We have crushed it so far in the NFL and college football. Lanceslock.com. Jump on board, $100. Always brought to you by our friends at Hemphill Services. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling issues. If you have any of those issues in your home or business, hemphillservices.com, 205-229-2090, or hemphillservices.com.
My man Morgan here, we were up earlier today over watching Alabama basketball practice, not too far before we get to basketball season. Including the Memphis game in Huntsville and the Wake Forest game in Birmingham. Exhibition plays coming up. So Bama basketball working hard earlier today while we're in Tuscaloosa here.
Yeah, we've got Taylor's just bringing us some stuff that we're going to be giving away.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
This is trivia gifts?
Yep.
All right, some trivia gifts here. Our friends at Milo's as well, LT, filling that food gap. If you'll tell us about Milo's, and then we will jump back into a couple other things. Our headlines coming up at 11 o'clock. And we'll talk more about the big game this weekend. But Milo's a great place to eat. You know it if you're from Birmingham.
Yeah, can you name something better than a Milo's burger? The only answer here would be 100 Milo's burgers, which can now be easily done through Milo's Catering. We had Milo's, Mary Duncan, Mary Rose come by last Friday, a little going-away party for Rockstar. The catering options range from individualized box lunches, ideal for any work or team gatherings, to customized build-your-own burger bars, chicken sandwich bars. These will be a hit at any tailgate. All you got to do is enter this code, catering10, all caps, catering1010. When you order Milo's Catering, they're offering $10 off for the first-time catering orders. To learn more, go to miloshamburgers.com/catering. That is miloshamburgers.com/catering. Stay saucy.
That white Chevy Tahoe not driving fast enough down the strip. Got passed by 2 trucks real quick.
Did you hear that one truck got it?
Kicked it in. Hey, so Kirby Smart. His age is, anybody want to guess?
Kirby is 49.
Kirby is 50.
I got him at 48.
Okay, we were all over it, Lance.
48. Mark Richt, when he was the coach at Georgia, won 74% of his games. Right now, Kirby is clicking along at 86% of his games. He wins 86% of the time.
It's incredible, yeah.
Yeah, you asked, I thought was kind of a silly question. I don't know if you were setting this up or not.
These are the stats coming from The Athletic that says if Kirby Smart beats Alabama without Nick Saban, he takes the throne away from Nick Saban as the best active coach in college football. You think he already owns it just because?
Well, I mean,
because he's two-time national champion.
Yeah, because there's only 2 guys that have won 2 national championships that are active, and we just saw Kirby and Dabo.
Yep.
And I don't even think the programs are close right now. I know Clemson's trying to turn this thing around after getting destroyed in week 1 in Atlanta against Georgia. I don't know who else. The only other coach that I could see, like if Kalen DeBoer was to go on, beat Kirby, and win a national championship this year, I think you can start making an argument for Kalen DeBoer just based on the fact the guy doesn't lose games. And in year 1 in the Power 5, he wins 11 games at Washington. Last year, he wins 13 and plays for a national championship, or 14. And if he was to, in year 3 in the Power 5, win a national championship, it's gotten better each and every year.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it is pretty incredible. I don't deny that.
Behind Kirby, they would start lining up Ryan Day and Sark first, though, right?
No.
They would definitely line up Ryan Day. Because Harbaugh and Saban are gone, so you'd line up Ryan Day would be next.
I mean,
after Kirby.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, Kalen DeBoer, actually, if you just look at a smaller version of things he's done, what has he done that Ryan Day hasn't?
No, I agree.
Yeah. Well, Ryan Day's coached in a national championship game, which DeBoer has done, and he's coached again in another semifinal game. So, I mean, that's 2 playoff appearances. That probably gives you the edge. I don't think it's like a blowout lead, but I might edge Ryan Day. I mean, I just think Ryan Day, Jim, the problem there is...
Yeah, I don't even think Sark's... Right now, if you ranked him right now, I don't know who would not have DeBoer over Sark. DeBoer has done more. Sark's had all these jobs, and DeBoer's done more in 3 years, or 2+ years.
Yeah, so, I mean, the problem with Day is he's more known for what he has not done, and that's a little bit unfair to him because he's done a lot.
So the nutshell here, if I can take this away, is Kirby Smart's the greatest active coach in college football,
right,
and there's a chance that Kalen DeBoer may be the closest to him to taking that away.
Yeah, I mean, I know it sounds crazy because he's only been a coach at this level for 3 years, but yeah.
I mean... Yes, but I mean, you could make the same argument for Ryan Day, though he's had a chance and hasn't done it, for Steve Sarkisian, for some other guys. I mean, I don't think DeBoer is alone in that discussion.
Here's the only thing I would say. If DeBoer is in Ryan Day's position, what is Ryan Day in year 5 or year 6? And Sark is in year 3 or year 4 at Texas. If DeBoer has the same accomplishments as those 2 in those many years in Tuscaloosa, it is going to be a massive disappointment.
Oh, real quickly.
Massive.
It's 1:42 Central Time. That was the time Nick Saban signed his contract to come to Alabama back in the day. Everybody raise up your Bud Lights. Here's the Nick Saban, everybody.
Are you making this up, or did you put it in your back
Everybody
pocket?
take a shot.
Is he making this up?
I really don't know with Dunaway. You never can tell. There's no way you know what time he signed his contract.
Jim or not.
No, he might. He might.
Hey, no joke. I think like 3 or 4 Secret Service trucks have come through. I mean, they are all over the place right now, and they're all lights on, high speed. No telling what some numbskull has done to get busted by the Secret Service.
Yeah, the former president will not come in until tomorrow, right? He doesn't sleep in Tuscaloosa.
You don't think he's going to be at the rabbit hole today?
No, it's a fly. We would interview him.
No, I do.
Now,
30 years ago, Bill Clinton might have rolled in here, right?
I do think Clay Travis is doing an interview with him here in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, so Clay's going to be in town about 5, and I don't know if you got.
I was told President Trump lands at 6. What time's Clay doing the interview? Game kicks at 6:30.
No,
they're doing it in the venue in Bryant-Denny tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
In the security of Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Yeah. So no, the president doesn't land. President Trump doesn't land until 6 o'clock.
Yeah. No, not really any time on the ground except landing to the stadium and then back on.
That
on
is
the
correct.
bus.
I think that's really the only way you can do it.
Trump's approval rating in Bryant-Denny tomorrow is like 95% plus.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
But I was going to say, who's got a higher?
A lot of media over there, so that makes it.
Well, yeah, I was taking them. I'm talking about paid admission. Clay Travis or Donald Trump, bigger approval rating tomorrow night in Bryant-Denny. Because you guys used to laugh at Clay 10 years ago when he was like, "If I went to Bryant-Denny, I'm telling you, 90% of those fans like me."
Clay was full of it then.
Yeah, and I will tell you. I will tell you right now. I'll say 2 words, and you tell me if you don't think he would get rocked with stones. Brandon Miller.
Maybe so. I would say President Trump's still higher approval rating.
No, by far.
you're right. Yeah,
by far.
Yeah,
by far. Because I've heard that brought up to me already today.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten all about that until it was.
Was that early this morning?
It was. Yeah.
I cannot believe that bothers some of those people as bad as it does.
I did see in the mybookie.ag chat room, like Alabama fans that are saying, I will probably vote for President Trump, but I wish he'd stay away. That's just a headache.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it
doesn't matter what your political affiliation is.
Yeah.
You don't want any of these high profile people at your game because all it does, it's a pain in the ass.
If you're a student, you don't want to get for a 6:30 game. You don't want to have to go in at 3:30.
No, not at all.
No.
And they're telling normal fans to be in the stadium by 5. That's an hour and a half.
Yeah, you boys, you can't take a metal flask. You know this, right?
Yeah. This is not the game to sneak anything
The
in.
Tito's has metal on the top. We learned that in 2019. Watch that.
You want me to are you considering Louisville Notre Dame? Are you considering that game?
No.
You're not considering it? You want me to cinch it for you? What's this table? Look at that table right there.
No.
Well, you know what? Maybe I am.
Every player.
Are we going to Louisville too?
Are you guys Louisville too?
This
is insanity.
Well, and it's not like this generation hates Notre Dame. Notre Dame has done nothing for this generation. I know you hated Notre Dame growing up.
We need this video one more time just in case. Okay. This table, Louisville, Notre Dame. Okay. This table, Louisville, Notre Dame. Oh, that's classic.
Yeah.
We'll retweet that out when Notre Dame wins 21-10.
What's the deal in this Louisville team? What is going on? Why is it?
I think it's their hot play. I just think people are going to back Louisville plus some points.
All right.
Yeah. What I think is the alpha at this table runs the book in town, and he's convinced everyone else. That's the play, and he's sitting on a gold mine.
Yeah, he's all over Notre Dame.
He'll be smoking.
You know what he learns about this? So like money with Alabama, Georgia is split all across the country, but this guy has to pull against his team every Saturday because everybody gets drunk. They want to play Alabama. It just feels like a good bet. 5 minutes before, they're just pounding down on Alabama. And he's like, son of a bitch, I can't even pull for my team.
My guy,
don't throw off, though. Just ride it. You can pull for Georgia. There's nothing wrong with that.
My guy used to overcharge. Like if Alabama was giving 2.5, he'd make Alabama go 3.5.
Yeah, and that's why you find another bookmaker. Don't do that.
You do that every now and then? Nope. Yeah. I would always. Hey, my guy would always do that.
So let's settle.
3.5. I'm playing at 3.5.
Let's settle a discussion. You thought that this house was your old bookie's house, but we've determined it is not, right?
It is not. It's about 200 yards down on the same side, closer to downtown. What threw me off is everybody talked about the walkway or the stairs. So my old bookmaker had stairs that went up the back. It was a staircase on the backside, and I was trying to figure out what the configuration would be of this bar if that was his old place.
So you used to go up the back stairwell, knock on the door, and he would open it, and you'd hand him an envelope of cash?
Yeah, well, you go in. I mean, you can hang out. They had a little
nice guy
going. Yeah. I mean, still doing it.
You know how it works.
The old college bookie.
Just for craps and giggles, is it still cash or is it all Venmo and Venmo now?
Yeah.
Hey, be careful. I need to give you some tips.
Yeah. Just good enough for the IRS to keep up with it. Yeah.
This guy's been doing it for years. Do listen.
Well,
to
I know. I used to do it
for years.
Paper trail is bad, my friend.
Yeah. Do they have to write silly stuff in like for pizza or golf? What? Okay.
Yeah, rent. Yeah, like he's a damn slumlord. Like there's $1,000, $800, $1,200. It's just all jumping in his account.
So you pay rent every week? Because that's what I do. I suck at gambling. I'd be paying rent every week. My mom would be like, "Dang, man, your rent $400 a weekend."
I don't know where you're taking us right here. Do we want to do a trivia question?
I'm for it. Is somebody want to do trivia? Come on up. Come on up. Somebody, you're going to surprise us.
I do need your number though.
Yeah. Come on. Don't be shy. Come on, let's go.
Just one of you.
Yeah,
anybody walk up. It's your chance to win something right here. Of course, they all got next round shirts on. But
I know they've already been given the next round gear. I don't know what they want. Nobody's going to do it.
Shy.
I do like the Bama hats.
Well, there you go. Take one with you.
Yeah. No, I'd like to get.
Is he coming? Here we go. Come on. Cover Crimson shirt. Look at this
Our
guy.
man, Britton.
CoverCrimson.com.
All right,
Okay,
Kel-
so Britton, you want to go? I think you got a next run. You want to go for one of these?
Grab the mic down there. Grab the mic.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a simple question.
All right.
The last time Georgia turned the football over was against what SEC team?
If you were listening to the show earlier, we've already talked about this, but I know you weren't.
I'll allow you to ask Morgan for help because he may know the answer. I was talking with Morgan earlier
I
today.
will tell you. So Britton is a Montgomery native. He has listened to the show before.
Okay, so he knows the show.
So the question again is:
Step this way.
the last time Georgia turned the football over was against an SEC team.
SEC team.
Who was that?
Was it not Alabama in the SEC championship?
Boom.
Very good. It was
Got it.
Carson Beck. A critical fumble against Alabama in the 2023 SEC championship game. It's that easy to win prizes from us.
That's right.
Just give them away.
Thank you.
Good job, Britton. Thank you. See?
So there you go. And you got more?
I got more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to come win a hat? Come on. Oh, you've seen.
Here we go. Now he knows it's easy.
This guy's got sunglasses on. Give him a hard ass question.
He's getting booed. Give him
a hard question.
Step this way a little bit. Step this way. Look at the camera. Wave at your mom and dad. Tell them hello.
Kid looks like he's 18.
Talking to Mike. How old are you?
21.
Yeah,
21.
Better be a good answer.
Yeah.
A really good answer with beer in hand.
Yeah.
Better be.
Okay.
Thanks to the Rabbit Hole and our great friends at Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch for having us here today. In fact, the entire party today is 21 and over. Thank you guys for showing your ID as you entered the Rabbit Hole.
That's right. So where are you from?
Atlanta.
All right.
Atlanta. Yes. Oh.
EG is too.
Big city. Big city in the
Sorry about your Braves.
Yeah.
It's been a rough year.
They're going to play again Monday, though.
We beat the Mets on Tuesday, and then we're playing this.
But I'm sorry about your Braves for like 162 games.
Yeah, it's been a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
So the LSU completion record through 4 games, 110 completions. Which LSU quarterback do you think has that record?
Oh, wow.
Wow. Somebody says it's easy over there.
Joe Burrow.
It could be Jaden Daniels. It could be Joe Burrow. It's not. It's Garrett Nussmeier.
Oh.
110 completions in his first 4 games. Believe it or not.
That was too hard.
That is an LSU record, but it's here and now.
That's too
It's gotta
hard.
be something timely, right, fellas?
Too hard.
Yeah.
Was it too hard?
It was too hard.
Garrett Nussmeier holds that record?
Right now, yeah, through his first 4 games, 110 completions.
While you find someone else, our friends at NASCAR are coming back to Talladega. Anybody ever been to Talladega to see the races this weekend on October 4th through the 6th? Great infield. EG and Taylor went to the Boulevard for the first time this past weekend. Past time they were here in the spring. How fun was that? Live music. Yeah, there were a lot of those there. You can get your tickets, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Races on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 877-GO-TO-DEGA, GO-TO-DEGA. Anybody else want to try to win something?
I think we've hit the limit now.
Okay. You want to try to and stump Brown real quick with one more trivia question?
Do I get a free t-shirt?
Nobody else wants to come on. One more. There he goes.
Here he comes.
Okay.
Be really careful coming this way. Don't trip over anything.
Is that a classic Cubs hat?
Well, it's like if the Cubs and the Detroit Lions had a kid.
Yeah.
That would be the hat.
Yeah. 47 brand, though. Wonder Fan. You get the vouchers there with
WUNDERFAN.
There you go. That's perfect. All right, what's your name?
I'm Will.
Will, where are you from?
Memphis.
Okay, this is going to be tough. I'm going to give you hat and shirt if you get this right,
So,
okay?
did you grow up in Memphis?
I did.
Who took the bullets out?
That is a great joke for Memphis. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I'm never going back.
You're never going back to Memphis? Okay.
No.
I want to get shot.
There's a song in there somewhere. Write that song. Never going back.
Yep.
Okay, so here we go. Through 4 games, Jackson Dart, almost 1,600 passing yards. That is the most by an SEC player to start a season. I'll give you multiple choice, okay? We're going to go A, Joe Burrow, B, Tim Couch, or C, Mac Jones.
Do you know
That's
who?
the question.
The question is the most, I said Jackson Dart, 1,554 passing yards, most by an SEC player to start a season since A, Joe Burrow, B, Tim Couch, or C, Mac Jones.
Ooh. I mean, Tim Couch does seem like the outlier, like, ooh, who the hell's Tim Couch?
Yeah, do you know who Tim Couch is?
Tim Couch was the number 1 overall pick in the 1999 draft.
Do you know who he played for?
But it was the Browns, so yeah.
He played for Kentucky. Do you know who Matt Jones is?
Of course.
Let's check it.
He's not that young, bro.
Do you have a choice? You want to ask the table? Ask the table.
I'm going to bank on my friend to go Tim Couch.
Tim Couch from Kentucky.
Tim Couch. B is the answer. 1998 was the year. Jackson Dart, though, having a historic first 4 games. There we go. Give you Both of those, my friend.
Yeah, good job. Oh,
Okay. Yep. If Brown gets it right, we'll throw some T-shirts and hats out.
okay.
How
All
about that?
right. What's the question?
Oh, the last time the Auburn Tigers beat a team that ended up having a winning record at the end of the season. I know people love negative Auburn questions around here.
Yeah. Okay. Say that again. The last
time Auburn beat a team that had a winning record at the end of the year. We'll just take the team, or we'll take the year.
Do you guys want gear? You guys want gear? Does everybody want gear? Yeah, 2021 Ole Miss.
It was 2021 Ole Miss.
Oh, yeah. Boy,
Good
that's a
job,
long
Rob.
time ago.
Halloween
2021.
weekend. Yeah, almost 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Auburn is what you call on a skid right now.
Yeah.
6-19 their last 25 against Power 5 opponents.
We need. Oh God,
It's so typical.
What a catch!
Her right eye gets put out.
Would have been so Jim to hit her right in the face right there. All right, one more hour to go, including trash coming up in our headlines. The show being brought to you by our friends at New Life Art, where you can get the legend and also the 2025 calendar, which has a bunch of great art from our friend Daniel A. Moore. What was the first Daniel A. Moore print you ever saw in your life, Brownie? You first.
I think it was his first one, right? It was Goal Line Stand.
Goal Line Stand was the first one you ever saw?
I think so.
What about you? First one you
Goal
ever
line stand.
Goal Line
Yeah,
Stand?
79 Sugar Bowl?
Yep. It was, they actually, I don't know, it wasn't his print, but that picture was on the Sports Illustrated cover from Alabama's championship back then. You can get the legend right now, which celebrates Nick Saban time by going to danielmooreart.com to pre-order. And Nick Saban has some autograph prints there. The proceeds for the autograph prints goes to Nick's Kids Foundation there. So Coach Saban has some of those signed and ready to go if you go to danielmooreart.com. And you can get that 2025 calendar by using the promo code TNR. TNR for the next round. TNR coupon code 20% off right now with our friends at danielmooreart.com, danielmooreart.com. One more hour to go, live from the rabbit hole as we drink the ice-cold Bud Light, Stella, Michelob Ultra, and all the great products here. Thank you for being with us. The next round on the road, back in a moment.
The most important financial decisions you'll ever make, so it's crucial that you have the right partner to help you through the process. Hi, I'm Lisa Zeig, Vice President Mortgage Loan Officer for Bryant Bank, and I'm here to tell you that we are that partner, making it easy to buy with confidence. We offer a variety of mortgage products to fit your unique home buying situation. That kind of hassle-free approach might not be what you'd expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give me a call today or visit one of our 18 offices across the state of Alabama and let me show you what banking beyond expectation is all about.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
You never know what we're up to here at the Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow the Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunsford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, equal housing lender.
Happy football season. At the Next Round, we strive to make our loyal listeners feel like they're a part of the action all season long. My name is Emily Grace McWhorter, and I do that by bringing you along for any given Saturday in Auburn or Tuscaloosa. From pregame warm-ups, touchdowns that make you feel a part of the play, and everything in between, our goal is to make you feel like you're inside Bryant Denny or Jordan-Hare. Follow along on our social media at Next Round Live on Instagram, X, and Facebook. Also, check out thebarnauburn.com and covercrimson.com while you're at it. Here's to fall Saturdays.
From the creators of The Next Round comes two new sites, covercrimson.com and thebarnauburn.com. Two team sites with the same excitement and information-driven content that you get every day on The Next Round. Live daily shows, recorded shows, free of charge, plus premium content with insider information starting at just $1. And it's the perfect gift for the Alabama or Auburn fan in your family. Covercrimson.com or thebarnauburn.com. Sign up today.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Hang out with the Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out the Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there. Here at the Next Round, we love our guests, especially our 2024 football regulars. Auburn and Alabama fans, we've got your guys. On Mondays at 9:25, we'll be joined by Alabama offensive lineman Tyler Booker, and Tuesdays at 9:25, we chat with Auburn quarterback Peyton Thorne. Join us and rep your team.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Tuscaloosa on what is a cloudy day now, but it's going to clear. Tomorrow will be perfect weather inside Bryant-Denny Stadium as we go. I think the kick temperature is 66 degrees, sunshine, some breeze, maybe a little hot chocolate in the air.
Hot chocolate?
Yeah, maybe the grill's fired up early on in the afternoon for your tailgate. It's going to be a perfect Saturday in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, as Georgia comes to town to take on the Crimson Tide. The Dogs in Alabama usually playing for a trophy. This is just a regular season game. Last time that happened was 2020 during the pandemic with a limited crowd. So this will be the first time Kirby Smart has been back to Bryant-Denny Stadium as Georgia's head coach with a full 101,000 fans inside Bryant-Denny Stadium.
You know, I just talking to an Alabama fan, and he said, you know, normally I don't like coming to these games because if we lose, I get too pissed off. And I said, well, you can at least take a little comfort knowing that you can lose a game or two, and it's not nearly the deal that it once was. And so I think everybody understands this. But on the other side for Georgia, if Georgia was to absorb a loss here, and we've talked about how brutal the schedule is, and nobody talked about Georgia's schedule coming into the year because it's just Georgia. But they've still got to go to Austin, and they've still got to go to Oxford, and they've got Tennessee on that schedule. I mean, if Georgia was able to lose this game and still get to the college football playoff, that would be impressive.
Yeah, I would agree 100% with you. I was talking to a guy the other day in our building. In fact, I was in the elevator with him, and he's like, I just don't think Georgia, and I don't know who he's a fan of. It wasn't an Alabama fan. He was just, that schedule with Georgia, I don't think they can do it. I don't think they can get through and get to the playoff. I'm like, man, that just sounds crazy. But, I mean, you drop this game Saturday, tomorrow, and all of a sudden you're down to a very thin margin of error.
If Georgia beats Kentucky 35-7, nobody's saying
I agree. I think that was part of the reason he was saying
and that's why I thought coming off of that weekend, going into the bye, I think it really benefits Georgia because Kirby is able to pour mouth his team for 2 weeks, and Alabama looked great in that second half, winning 42-10. So it sets up for Georgia. Now, again, the money sets up for Alabama right now the way it's being played in Las Vegas, so we'll see what happens.
We'll get to our pick three at the end of the show coming up. Again, we're at the Rabbit Hole, brought to you by the wonderful folks at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. It is the taste of great football Saturdays with our friends at Bud Light. We're about to do our headlines. For those of you that are younger than 30, there used to be these things called the newspaper that used to come out every day after games with headlines of what happened the night before. So we do this thing on Friday where we try to predict the headlines from the games, the big games on Saturdays, and it's brought to you by our friends at McCurry Van and Car Rental. It's our spotlight. Tell us about McCurry before we hit the big button.
That is where you need to rent right now. You rent from McCurry. They make it super easy for you, in and out fast, and you can find them. Coleman on 2nd Avenue Northwest, right here in Tuscaloosa on Skyline Boulevard, Athens, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville.
all the vans, the cars, the passenger vans, the SUVs, the trucks that you need to rent. Here's the number, 256-559-1003 or McCurryRentals.com, McCurryRentals.com. Hit it, Tyler.
The College Football Spotlight.
Like the game's already been played. Monday's headlines today.
All right, here we go. Monday's headlines. I know Brown has one down there.
I do.
LT, do you have one?
I have one. Yeah, Brown, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Tyler, did you get mine? Are you going to be able to pull mine up?
Yeah, I sent it
Mine
to
is
Scott.
non-visual today, audio only.
Okay, so Tyler got it. All right, so here is mine. Mine comes from the Tuscaloosa News. I'm going with this big game down the road.
Okay, me too.
Are you now?
Yeah.
From the Tuscaloosa News, uneaten but once beaten. With President Trump in attendance, dogs miss another chance to beat the Tide. See, the dogs don't get eaten like we're in Springfield, Ohio.
Very good, very good.
But they do get beaten.
Do you have alternate headlines like you usually do?
I do. Page 2, after watching the Michigan offense, the Defense Department mistakenly sends deployment orders to Michigan players.
Oh.
They thought it was a service academy. That's the joke there. And a former Tuscaloosa bookie was still found living in an attic of a bar. The only words he can speak, fade Dunaway.
Fade Dunaway. I'm not.
Fade Dunaway.
200 yards down.
I'm not
That's
going
street.
I'm horrible at picking games.
Yeah.
For mine, you've got to know what dogs do. Dogs do two things, right?
Yep.
One thing, they like to lick themselves a lot, right?
Well, if you could, you would.
If I could, I would, but I can't, so I don't.
I thought the urban legend was you broke one of your ribs for a certain purpose.
The other thing,
Jim's
they
been
like
hanging
to
out
do,
with
they
Marilyn
love
Manson.
to sniff butts. Every dog sniffs butts, right?
Sure, Jim.
So my headline is, dogs left sniffing butts. Milroe and Williams run for daylight. Bama 27, Georgia 20 tomorrow. I like Bama.
I don't think anybody kept up with what you were saying, but they liked your prediction, though.
All right, you just end picking Bama and clap. And Alabama wins it 27-20. I love the hamburgers. Yeah. Not so much.
So we're going to go out to Dallas for mine, ACC action.
That was like the give me my money. The last one.
This is a game nobody cares about. 1-3 Florida State, 3-1 SMU. But this is coming from a really credible publication, the Southern Methodist Sunday Special.
Wow.
Here we go.
They print on Sunday?
Yeah, and Brown, I'm just going to let you kind of break this one down after I say it, okay?
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Mustang Rally. No conspiracy here as shooters Stone and Jennings land kill shot on grassy knolls.
Wow. What a long headline.
That's a riddle.
All right, let's break it down here. Mustang Rally. Mustang Sally is a god-awful song.
God-awful song, yeah. But they rally back.
They rally back. No conspiracy here. They're in Dallas where there is, the Kennedy conspiracy, right?
And there's two shooters. We know it because you've got Preston Stone and Kevin Jennings playing in this game.
So let me go ahead and educate all you Alabama students here. No matter what they tell you in your history class, Lee Harvey Oswald did not kill John F. Kennedy.
He did not.
It's the most absurd thing. Why don't they snap it? Why y'all snap it?
They agree, I guess.
Oh, okay. God, how many Bud Lights are there?
A lot.
Yeah. You can tell the kids that went to private school they can't clap. They have to snap.
Yeah. So John F. Kennedy did not get killed by Lee Harvey Oswald. Okay. Yeah, you got a beer in your hand. You can't clap. You got to snap.
But there was a grassy knoll, right?
There was a grassy knoll, but these are the grassy knolls, like the Seminoles.
Yeah.
That is an excellent headline.
Do you like it?
I like that headline. That's
not one, but two shooters.
I know.
No conspiracy here.
Conspiracy.
Mustang Rally.
Yeah.
And Alabama wins 27-20. All right. That's our headline today, brought to you by McCurry Van and Car Rental. Around the league we go before we get to trash coming up here at 11:30 in our final segment, and we make our picks. In college football tomorrow in the SEC, it seems like it's always a fun game, even though the two teams are usually pretty boring. Arkansas and Texas A&M do their annual battle. We're still not on campus for this game yet, are we?
I think this might be the last year it's in Dallas. That contract is up, and at the end of the contract, they're going back on campus. I'm not entirely sure, but this may be the last year it's off campus.
Well, I brought this up. Marcel Reed and kind of what he's been able to inject offensively for Mike Elko and Texas A&M is another dynamic running the football. And Marcel Reed, I brought this up earlier, first Aggie quarterback with 2 passing touchdowns and 80-plus rushing yards. Since Johnny Manziel did this back in 2012, Arkansas's run defense has been really good. They're 14th in rushing defense right now, 14th in the FBS. And, I think if they're able to limit what A&M is doing with Moss and with Reed on the ground, I think Arkansas's got a shot. But they've got, much like Kirby Smart has this mental Alabama hurdle, at least it looks that way, Arkansas has lost 11 of 12 against A&M.
Yeah.
Marcel Reed, I think, is the right side here. If you're Kevin Elko, to go with Marcel Reed, no matter who you go with, I think you probably got the quarterback advantage in this game. Taylor Green could do a lot of good things. I just don't know.
No, I don't know.
You don't know?
I think Taylor Green's going to be really good, especially with Bobby Petrino. He's got to learn how to throw the football, which is really important for a quarterback. I know that. Yeah.
Don't give out too much information. Our friend the Bookie down here at the end of the table, we don't want to hurt him.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, he's going to be fine.
Yeah. Yes.
Always is.
He's buying the beers.
Yeah. He'll pour them out that though. Oh, we were okay. We broke about even. Still got to collect that money this week. Never in the red as a bookmaker.
Yeah. Does everybody pay off? I mean, do you have one guy? Would you just write one guy's name?
I've got tips on that too, my friend.
I bet it starts with an E.
Yeah.
I bet it starts with an E.
I educated.
Yeah, well, that only lasts so long. You got to know somebody internally in the admissions.
Yeah.
I give you class schedules, numbers, everything you need.
I educated you boys on who did not kill John F. Kennedy. Professor Taylor here will teach you some economics after this thing's over.
You show up in somebody's class, they're like, damn.
This guy knows where I am.
He knows where we are.
Yeah.
You call their house during holiday breaks.
Yeah.
Damn.
Are you slipping a note that has their mom and dad's home phone number on it?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Should I just
Of
call
course,
your
there's no
dad?
hard lines
Yeah.
anymore, but you get mom's cell and start texting her.
Yeah. Should I just call your mom
get
and
paid
dad for the
quickly.
money? Yeah. Works out good. Look who's here, my man. How are you? Another game in the SEC, non-SEC game, South Alabama at LSU.
Look at him. Look at him. Go Jags. He's up.
And he's playing the over, 65.5.
He needs to.
Wild game. Over's the play here, right?
Yes, it is.
65.5.
Nobody's offense has been better nationally than South Alabama's over the last two games. Now, some of that's a function of the competition they're playing. I get that. But LSU's defense has not been as improved as we thought. And now they're playing without one of their best players for the remainder of the season. I don't know if South Alabama wins this game, but I think they can get it in a shootout.
Yeah, and Harold Perkins Jr. is out, and that's unfortunate. Braden Swinson is the guy that's got to step up on the edge for LSU. He's got 5 sacks over his last 2 games. But you look at LSU and that defense, they've allowed 35 plays of 15-plus yards. That is second worst right now in the SEC behind only Florida.
If that passenger head right there turns and looks at us, it'll scare the shit out of me.
Okay.
That's
on the other side, though, the Jaguars, 135 points their last 2 weeks.
He's playing it.
Major Applewhite has got the thing dialed in. I would not listen to these two on that, but hey, tread at your own
Jay's
risk
up.
here.
Jay's over.
Yeah.
And then Louisville. Louisville.
He had this South Alabama. I saw that South Alabama hat earlier. I just thought that he was out all night. You went next door to the BP or the whatever the gas station is, and you just picked up that hat.
Yeah.
Okay, big South Alabama guy.
Yeah, I'll cover the first 100 on the over there for you. And here's my number, 205-902.
Easy now.
It's Brown's number. I won't cover the first 100. The other game, Mississippi State, Texas. Can State keep it within 38.5?
Boy, without Blake Shapen, I don't know. Now, they may not be facing Quinn Ewers, and you're like, well, the other option is Arch Manning. I mean, Arch Manning so far in these games has been a B, C+.
Yeah, I would say that he was an A against UTSA, and he was a C.
Yeah. So,
what's your advice to the young gambler on 38.5?
That's a lot of points in an SEC game.
It's a lot of points in an SEC game, and I honestly think Sark will attack this on the ground because you look at Mississippi State, 346 against Arizona State on the ground. They gave up 6+ yards per carry against Florida. They've given up 7 rushing touchdowns their last 3 games. I would not be surprised. This sounds crazy. If Texas rushes collectively for 400 yards.
Yeah, it wouldn't blow me away. Last night.
But with that said, I think that limits maybe possessions.
Yeah, shortens the game.
Unless you get some of those explosive runs that we saw Army get last night. But if they don't, that's a lot of points. But Michael Van Buren, and I wonder if Sark, does this mean anything? Texas has scored 50+ in 4 straight home games. That is the longest in Longhorn, or second longest streak in Longhorn history. Do you think it means anything for this offense to score 50+?
I don't know. It's a streak, and you wonder how aware of it he is. I don't know if they can throttle it back enough to keep it below 50, to be honest.
Well, if they get to 50, I feel pretty good about laying the points.
I mean, look what Florida did to that defense, and now you're taking it on the road to play a much better offense in Texas.
I will say this. Furman told me he wasn't able to join us this week. He'll be back next week. But Furman told me, Dunaway, this is the biggest number hung against State in 30 years.
Wow.
So State is a massive, massive underdog in this game.
Not as big as I thought it would be in Oxford. Ole Miss only minus 16 at mybookie.ag. The total's 52.5. I would imagine if you watch Brock Vandergriff and Kentucky's offense so far, you think most of those points are coming from Ole Miss. What do you think of the Rebels at home against the Kentucky team that held Georgia to just 13 points?
Well, and that's the thing. If Kentucky's going to hang around, you're talking about an Ole Miss team right now that leads the nation in points per game at 55. They're only giving up 5.5 points per game. They're the fifth team since 1950 to score 200 points and allow fewer than 25 through 4 games. So Ole Miss, although they haven't played anybody, they have been completely dominant. But Kentucky, they've lost 3 straight against Ole Miss, but Kentucky's defense only giving up 217 yards per game, 6 fewest in the FBS. If their defense comes to play, Kentucky might be able to keep it inside of the number.
So somebody just brought you guys shots.
I got a shot of bourbon here. What kind of bourbon are we talking?
Makers?
Little Makers, okay.
Yeah, so you're talking about Kentucky, so shot of Makers. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Oh, go ahead, Dunaway. You all right, Jimmy? What, Jim, have a shot of there? Tequila? Yeah. I don't think you're going to make the Sig Up mixer tonight there.
Drink responsibly, men.
Yeah.
Oh, you knocked it out, though.
I don't do shots.
Good job.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, very good.
When I do shots, at some point tonight, somebody's got to hold my hair. So
yeah.
If you only had
you got that. Hey, so I mean, Ole Miss hasn't really played anybody that can get them off the field, and that's what's interesting to me. I mean, I guess Wake did it a little bit because they only scored in the 40s against Wake. That Kentucky defense is good enough to get Ole Miss off the field some. So, you wonder how they react to that.
If I'm Lane Kiffin, I like this because everybody said they're not going to be tested until the 9th week of the season when they go to Baton Rouge to take on LSU. I don't even know if they're going to be tested there now.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you 100% on that.
But Ole Miss can do it from any angle. Jackson Dart has been incredible. Trey Harris has been great. Henry Parrish Jr. has been really good. And Lane Kiffin wins these games. We talked about this yesterday. When he is a double-digit favorite in 59 games as a head coach, 56-3 straight up. So he doesn't lose these type of games, and I don't expect them to lose tomorrow. Again, if you're looking for a way for Kentucky to somehow get inside of the number, I think it is their defense.
And the biggest game in the country, Louisville and Notre Dame, happening this weekend. Who you guys like?
They have sold me. They have sold me on the Irish.
The run defense for Notre Dame, they're giving up 200 yards a game running the football, right? Notre Dame's run defense not too good, or are they very good? Which one? I can't read my own notes now.
Yeah,
I had one shot of tequila.
Yeah, I think you are wrong.
They have a really good run defense.
They have held their past 14 opponents under 400 yards total.
Okay.
So the Irish's defense has been lights out under Marcus Freeman. It was really good week 1 against Texas A&M.
Mental note, do not make a bet after doing tequila shots.
You should have to write that one down.
I still don't understand how Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois. They have no room for error now. But they are tied with Michigan and Georgia for the second longest streak in the FBS with holding opponents under 400 yards, 18 consecutive games. So that's been impressive.
This is why you don't do portal quarterbacks, though, right? Riley Leonard is a flop so far.
He is not a flop. Now, look.
But he's not been great.
He's not been great. Sam Hartman wasn't great. Yeah. But these are upgrades from what you had with Brian Kelly when they played in the college football playoff, when they played for a national championship. Riley Leonard is still a quarterback with his legs, tough quarterback that can do a lot of different things. For Louisville, it's their first road game. They haven't turned the football over this season. And again, that offensive line's only given up 2 sacks. If they play like that, if they don't turn the football over and they can keep pressure off of Tyler Shuck and let him do some things with his legs, I think Louisville can win this game. But if they turn the football over and the Irish is able to get pressure on Shuck, I think it could be a long
problem with Louisville, because they're scoring 47 points a game. They've played Austin Peay, Jacksonville State, my old school, who's 1-3, and Georgia Tech, who started out as a nice story against Florida State, but what's happened since then with Georgia Tech?
Should have won that game last.
Well, in one of those, he sticks with it because he had Georgia Tech
31-17.
Yeah, I would just say this about it: Louisville, some of those points did come off a block punt.
Yeah.
So
the last one, the big one.
Yeah. I think Louisville, and I was the guy that was hyping up Louisville going into last weekend. I was not impressed with Louisville last weekend. And I do think the Irish play with desperation. I think the number is perfectly set at 6.
I'm staying away from it, pulling for you guys, knock it out, whatever this 10-star mortal lock of the year. Are you guys all on the side of one game all the time? Do you all have one game a weekend?
Oh.
Okay, who was last weekend's game? Just wondering.
Texas Tech comes up.
Oh, they're on a roll.
That was a solid play against Arizona State.
Do you guys do parlays? You like parlays?
Of course they do.
I love the parlays.
Yeah. Hey, our bookmaker loves the parlays too.
Love the parlays. How many?
Hey, come give us your parlay. No, come here. Take the mic. Take the mic.
Grab the microphone.
Yeah.
Tell us that parlay. Tell me the number. How many first? How many?
6-point teaser.
Come over here.
Oh,
No, sir, right there. You're good.
Oh, the 6-point teaser.
Tell the audience.
6-point teaser. Virginia Tech plus 23.5.
Okay.
Alabama plus 8. Ole Miss minus 11. And Michigan minus 3.5.
That was last week or this week?
Yeah, if I can guarantee you one thing, that tease will not hit.
It's hit. It's absolutely hit.
Why is it not going to hit?
Because it's a teaser.
They just don't win.
Those all sounded fantastic.
I'm sure.
Of course they did.
Virginia Tech's beating Miami.
Straight up.
Straight up. Not a chance.
Those sounded fantastic. I bet it. Hang it the loop.
MyBookie.ag.
Yeah.
They'll double your initial
Watch that
deposit
cord
right now.
Watch that cord.
Hey, you're probably superstitious, right? You're superstitious. You're a gambler, right?
Yeah.
I think you should do the rest of the our show with that helmet on. I think it'll be good luck for you.
Here he goes.
Just drink through the helmet.
Here he goes. Here he
Yeah.
goes. Put it on.
Make
Look
sure
at
you get pictures of this.
Put it on. Look at the camera.
There he is.
Yeah. Welcome to our friends at Shoot.
Just go sit, hang out, have fun.
Thank you. It's a good looking helmet, right? If we had a team.
Yeah, I know. It's a good looking helmet. Don't pour beer on our helmet.
Jack Bull don't care.
Your ass would have been cleaning it off if you were still the intern. Yeah.
It's going to drive Scott crazy if I don't center up this helmet behind Lance's computer.
Yeah.
I'll get all kinds of texts.
This hour brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, champyschicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Wonderful fried chicken, brined overnight, cooked to order, and Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. Got a little kick to them. Sterling loves a good party. He's got great drinks there. It's a destination lunch place. If you're ever near Alabaster on Highway 119, just off the I-65 exit, go and check with our friends at Champy's. Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. There's only 2 teams in college football that have beaten 2 top 25 teams this year. One of them is Tennessee. How do we feel about Tennessee?
Well, they beat a top 25 team that was top 25 then. NC State ain't a top 25 team.
Don't mess with the script, Brownie.
Sorry.
The other team right now is...
Yes. I think it is the Illini of Illinois.
It is Illinois, who is getting 18 points in Happy Valley against Penn State. Why would I not play Illinois?
I am so torn on this game because I do think it is really inflated.
It's Illinois. It's the play.
Yeah,
Illinois,
look,
Illinois.
Luke Altmaier has been really good at quarterback for Brett Bielema. The defense is salty. Why is it 18.5? The number should be 10. The number should be 10. There's a reason it's 18.5. I was looking at expert picks, and I saw this one service where all 8 have Illinois covering this game.
Yeah, Illinois is the play because Luke Altmaier.
Play your pick 3.
Oh, it's already in there.
You know he is. Yeah. That's why he brought it up.
I was just trying to get a crowd feel. They were not as excited about Illinois as I wanted them to be.
Yeah. Well, about Louisville, though.
But I've slid Louisville in there.
He's the typical college kid better, isn't he? Dunaway's all in with
so I think UAB is pretty good play tomorrow against Navy. But
do you really?
Oh.
Yeah, I do.
Texas Tech. He's back on the Red Raiders.
Yeah.
Again.
Now wait. If you're running the book, should you be giving out good plays?
They've changed seats.
Well, I think he's laughing. He's doing the Louisville thing too, but he knows that if Louisville, look, his game will be decided, or his day will be decided tomorrow on whether or not Alabama wins this game.
Yeah. Do you have a significant other, a girlfriend right now? Okay, that's a good call. I'm known for asking awkward questions. I just wonder,
like significant other when you're in college.
I've got a friend. She's not a gambler, but when her team doesn't win, she's pretty shitty to be around after they end up losing. Raise your hand, Taylor. Taylor is. she's an Auburn girl, and when they don't win, and she's not in a good mood on a lot of Saturday nights. But I was just wondering how you are if the majority of the wagers didn't go your way that day. Are you tough to be around?
No. Hey, but
LT always tells me you win either way,
he's
right? It's usually 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to win anyway.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Milroe over 44.5 rushing yards is his play.
Do you guys play any under on Alabama props?
I don't think so. Hey, but Mark Sears last year in basketball, that was easy money every game. I mean, it came in like 20.5, 19.5 every game, just over. It was easy money last year.
You talk a lot of Alabama basketball. I think you're angling for some kind of job on staff or something.
I don't know. I'm a
We're
white
not
man.
even in October and we talk basketball all the time.
I'm a white man that can't jump. I can't even shoot. You saw me. I was 1 for 29 at Auburn.
Yeah, I know that.
tell you. Yeah.
Okay, so trash coming up in the next segment. One last thing to ask here, football-wise. Most underrated thing in college football so far this season has been what?
I think
I'll start with Tennessee's defense.
Oh,
freeze with somebody. Wow.
You know, the thing about Tennessee's defense, they haven't played an offense.
He's a troublemaker from way back when.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't think they've played an offense, so I can't really say that.
Best offense they played is
It's probably Oklahoma.
seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
It wasn't NC State.
I mean, that's the thing.
No.
But their defense has looked dominant against bad. It was not NC State. Grayson McCall's been he's been a flop.
He's
You
been a
give me that.
disappointment.
He's
Yeah,
been a flop.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
but
said Riley Leonard.
I'm
was.
asking underrated, though. Things that are good that we're not giving enough credit to.
Well, you said Tennessee's defense.
I think BYU has been underrated. I think Indiana. I think Illinois. I think there's some teams out there that have quality wins that we're not talking about. Hey, still a lot of season to be played, but I think those are really underrated teams.
I think in a lot of ways, Cam Ward is still a little bit underrated, Dunaway, because
he is your Heisman favorite, though.
He is, but I mean, how many people are watching Cam Ward right now?
Taylor, you got to get video of the guy in the helmet who's just waving at the crowd driving by so we can have it. By the way, from our lawyers, don't let the guy wearing your helmet leave and wear it driving away after drinking this afternoon.
Don't you worry.
Yeah.
We'll get that helmet back.
Yeah, we need to make sure, Maddie, that helmet doesn't leave on him. Thanks to Bud Light Rabbit Hole for having us out here. Bud Light, drink responsibly, easy to enjoy on a game day. It's our friends at Bud Light.
Pete Thamel, ESPN, is reporting from his sources that the Auburn Tigers have decided to start who against Oklahoma?
It's got to be Peyton Thorne.
100%.
Yeah.
Got to be Peyton Thorne.
Yeah, and I think this decision will win the game for Auburn. I think Auburn wins tomorrow against Oklahoma. Both offenses really challenged, but it's going to be a bad loss for either Venables,
Good call.
19-11 as a head coach, or Hugh Freeze. And when you look at his 8 wins or his 7 wins, 8 wins through 17 games, they haven't been good. They haven't been against quality opponents. I mean, this can be what we call a top 25 win. I don't know if you guys realize this about Oklahoma. Oklahoma has played bad football, and they still have to play currently the number 1 team, the number 2 team, the number 4 team, the number 6 team, the number 11 team, and the number 14 team. I'm not making that up.
No, it's brutal.
1, 2, 4, 6, 11, and 14 still coming up.
It's brutal. Overnight, Auburn flipped to the favorite in this game. I think a lot of people that would bet that assume Peyton Thorne was starting, right?
Yeah.
This shouldn't affect the line all that much.
I think Peyton Thorne has a solid game, but I think Auburn's able to run it just enough to get the win here.
Little fast-paced 2-minute warning after you tell us about Gutter Cap. Tell us about Gutter Cap.
Hey, look, weather rolling through everywhere, it seems to be. More than 20 years ago, I made the call to C. Chris Stewart, the guys there. Gutter Cap right now, 45% off the retail price. It's a patented aluminum cover system. It fits over most existing gutters. It will keep all that debris out. The last thing you want to do is get out the ladder on a weekend. You get on the roof, you slip, you fall, you snap the neck and die. You're no good to the wife or kids. Cap it, don't snap it, 823-2212 or guttercapbirmingham.com.
Let's go Louisville. Ready? You guys look
Again?
Yeah. I was just saying. They look like they were.
I have got this game circled now. I have got the game circled, 2:30. Peacock, by the way.
Yeah.
We have Peacock in the fraternity house.
Oh, of course they do.
Okay.
Yeah, how do y'all use your passwords there? Who gets stuck with the Netflix? And I mean, you guys, do you just share it? Does somebody like draw out of a hat?
Yeah, they're going to all their Louisville winnings.
Yeah, that's good philosophy.
Yeah.
Speaking of a lot of money, the Circa CEO, the guy that owns Circa out in Vegas, Derek Stevens, yesterday said, I will pay the $100,000 to keep Matthew Sluka at UNLV as quarterback. Barry Odom in UNLV said, no, thank you.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the NCAA would love a casino owner paying the quarterback at real money to stay.
Well, I had one of these weird thoughts when I was talking about the Sluka or thinking about the Sluka situation that, hey, we ought to offer it knowing that if they said we'll accept, we were going to be in trouble as a company.
Yeah, that would be no.
But just the publicity, I was shocked that somebody did not offer the $100,000 before, and I'm still really surprised how this thing has played out.
But I mean, I credit Barry Odom for saying no, thank you. I mean, the kid quit on us. He quit on us. I'll go with my backup and
yeah.
But
I would also say Barry Odom needs to know, if you had an assistant coach promise this amount and you guys aren't delivering, how are you going to recruit players in the future?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
LSU's looking into getting a second live Tiger. I think it's because we talked about it earlier this week that the guy had to live by himself. Mike the Tiger lives in that cage by himself. It's a horrible existence.
Are they going to get a female?
That would make it more interesting, Brown. But it's 2024, so it doesn't matter.
Are we gonna
any tiger's
they're going to force Mike out of the cage.
Yeah, out of the cage. I like that.
Are they going to put in blinds?
Make that your headline, LSU week.
Yes.
Mike the Tiger comes out of the cage.
They're going to put the blinds so they can lower the blinds.
Yeah.
Start some mood music.
We'll see if LSU spends the money on a second live Tiger so that Mike the Tiger's not so lonely. All right, we'll do trash when we come back, and we'll give you our 3 picks for the weekend that you can go hit your man over the head. Not this guy. I mean, don't take this guy's money, but everyone else's bookie. Go beat him over the head this weekend with our plays coming up a little bit later on. We're at the Rabbit Hole. What a great place, and they've got live music on this stage later tonight. I don't know the band. I don't know what kind of vibe do we get from the live music. Plato and somebody tonight.
Plato and who?
Really good. You like them, Jack?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Good. Plato Jones and the Current, I believe, something like that, on stage here tonight. Really a cool band, says Jack, the former intern, and I'll take him. He's great musically. So they're here tonight at the Rabbit Hole, and our friends at Bud Light are here all weekend. Don't forget to enjoy responsibly, but easy to enjoy game day with our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. We're back at the Rabbit Hole right after this quick timeout.
There's only one Champy's world famous fried chicken. Poor boy's tenders, full fried chicken plates, and a little bit of the Mississippi Delta with chicken on a stick and hot tamales. On your way to or from the big game on Highway 119 in Alabaster, stop by Champy's Chicken.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, you feel that? That's fall in the air. And New Balance Birmingham got your fresh fall pair to kick it during game time and sport from the sideline. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280 right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
By now, you guys know how I feel about my fashion. However, did you know that I care about your fashion choices? Cargo shorts are out, flip-flops are only appropriate on the boat, and please throw away that stained t-shirt from college. You may be thinking, EG, that's all I own. What do I do? Here's what you do. Go to nextround.store and fill your cart with a wardrobe that is approved by me. Stock up on logo t-shirts, hoodies for football season, and hats for every day of the week. Trust me on this one and head over to nextround.store to get stocked up for this season.
If renting is putting a dent in your bank account, here's your sign from the universe that it's time to buy a new home. And who better to help you through the ins and outs of home buying than our friends at Mortgage Right. With Mortgage Right, you don't have to worry about becoming a short notice mortgage expert because they do all the heavy lifting for you. They're trusted mortgage professionals and they'll help you choose the right mortgage option and stand by your side every step of the way. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to buy before renting runs you dry. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
From the creators of The Next Round comes 2 new sites, covercrimson.com and thebarnauburn.com. 2 team sites with the same excitement and information-driven content that you get every day on The Next Round. Live daily shows, recorded shows, free of charge, plus premium content with insider information starting at just $1. And it's the perfect gift for the Alabama or Auburn fan in your family. Covercrimson.com or thebarnauburn.com. Sign up today.
You never know what we're up to here at the Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow the Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunsford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Hey, this is Matt Roth, the franchisee of Walk On Sports Bistro in Birmingham. With the kickoff of football season, come visit us at one of our 3 locations, Stadium Trace, Greystone, or Trussville. Come enjoy our scratch kitchen menu while watching one of our 80 TVs. Whether you're looking for a pre- or post-game celebration, game day, or date night, we've got you covered. It's all about the win at Walk On Sports Bistro. Walk On, it's where everybody needs a little playing time.
With you on the Next Round live from the Rabbit Hole. They're telling me back in the studio this is the best live remote show we've ever done. All because of the Louisville Cardinals. How about that? How about Louisville? Wow. This part of the show is called Trash. It's non-sports, and then we'll get to our picks coming up. But we're looking forward to the weekend. At some point, somebody's going to win this jacket you're wearing now?
Yeah, well, I think they went and got me this jacket, or they've got another one. We're going to give a couple away, but it's the Alabama Bomber jacket. Same guy.
Yeah,
Same
well,
guy.
he's just cruising the strip, isn't he?
Stand up. Let them see the jacket.
Let them see the jacket. It's the Alabama Bomber jacket?
Yeah, so somebody can win this. We just go spin the wheel. There's a way to do this. Very interesting, though.
LT knows all the rules. There's a way to do this in the back.
Spin the wheel. They're back there for a reason.
And it's very interesting.
But part of the Adams family down here in Tuscaloosa, Sam, who brought us the jacket, we found this out. She's a former actress.
Well, that's right. What was she in?
So, I, Tonya, you remember the movie I, Tonya about Tonya Harding?
I do.
Yeah, fantastic movie with Margot Robbie. Any Margot Robbie fans out here? Yeah, everybody.
Margot Robbie? Sneaky good, though. Margot Robbie? Louisville grad. Whoa. Is she? No.
That always is liar to the crowd.
I do think Jennifer Lawrence is a Louisville grad. I'm almost positive about that. Anyway, she was an I, Tonya. She was the ring girl when we went to what Tonya Harding was doing with her life. Remember, she fought one of those celebrity boxing matches.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was the ring girl.
Oh, that's a good role.
Yeah,
I like
it. Yeah, somebody's got to be the ring girl, right?
Tell the audience what movie you were in.
Well, nobody really cares. But the only one that people might know is L.A. Confidential.
L.A. Confidential. Yeah. That's an award winner right there. Trash is brought to you by Mortgage Right. Tyler, hit the big button, man.
Now, if that's too much, 12 different appetizers to choose from. I'm a fried dickle pickle man. I'm a fried dill pickle man.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Hey, in our Trash, love to partner with our friends at Mortgage Right. Whether you're looking for your first home or your final home, whether you're looking from Seattle all the way to Selma, these guys can put you in the home of your dreams. 205-902-7200 or mortgageright.com. TNR/TNR, NMLS 2239, equal housing lender. We start first. A pet owner was left delighted when her cat brought home a winning scratch card, bagging her 10 pounds.
What's 10 pounds in American?
I think it's like $12 maybe.
Oh, she's delighted over $12.
Is it less?
I don't know. Here, I'll do the conversion.
Yeah. Anyway, Megan Christian, 33 years old, says her 1-year-old named Monkey often arrives with unusual items. She has previously dragged home a coffee sachet, chicken from KFC, a stuffed pickle, and now a winning lottery card for $10.
The cat's name Monkey?
Cat's name is Monkey.
$13.38.
$13.38. I don't know if I'd be excited about it, but if your cat wants to bring home what it would cost to feed it or let it shit in a box, so be it.
I think I have left, now I would have to drive back to Georgia to cash them in, but I think I've left lottery tickets for less than that or more than that.
I've taken from Las Vegas chips in my pocket more than $12 and used them as
well, Megan
markers on the
Christian
green.
was excited that Monkey brought her home a $13 winning scratch ticket.
Yeah, well, look, everybody needs $13, I guess.
Tell me how excited you'll get about this story when I just read the headline. Florida man shot dead when dispute over jukebox song selection turns violent at a Mexican restaurant.
Heck yeah. Yeah, it's got a lot of potential here.
Yeah, here we go. A Florida man was shot and killed at a restaurant in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, early Monday morning after an argument over a jukebox song turned violent at a Mexican restaurant, according to witnesses. Now,
happens at a Waffle House in the South
all
the time.
Now, the dispute happened around 1:30 a.m. at Anitos Mexicanos restaurant when one man started commenting on another person's music selection, according to local authorities. Now, one witness went on to say, quote, I heard that there were two guys there. They got into an argument because one of them played a song on the jukebox. The other guy was kind of pissed off. That guy that insulted then pulled out his weapon, started shooting the guy. Now, it was first reported by this witness that the man who insulted the song allegedly drew his weapon first, but the man who had picked the song was the one that shot first. Quote, one of them played a song on the Rockola, the machine. The guy was pissed off, and he said, you're not a real Mexican if you play that shitty music, you know? Now, according to a police dispatcher, the shooter only shot 3 times. When police arrived on the scene, it was reported. They put up the yellow crime scene tape as well as gathered evidence. Victim's brother told the outlet that he had no idea what happened to his brother until police informed him of the shooting.
Modest Pizza in Anniston when I was growing up had nice catch, Jack. Modest Pizza in Anniston when I was growing up had a jukebox. And at the time, do you remember the Georgia Satellite song, the only song that they were known for?
Got a little change in my pocket.
Going jingling.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the name of the song. We played that constantly on that jukebox. And I know all the adults in there had to freaking hate that song. And I don't know that I like the song. I just know it was the one it was popular, so we always played it on the jukebox. I mean, quarter after quarter after quarter at Modest Pizza playing that stupid song. You know who liked that, Modest Pizza? I'm guaranteed he's keeping that
I'm sure. Shocking surveillance video shows a man accused of crawling under several women's cars for his gratification while they were at a car wash. He has been arrested. Police officers were called.
What does he get out of this?
Well, I will give it to you. And he likes a lot of things that you like. Police were called August 29th to investigate 3 instances where a man identified as 28-year-old Jesse Johnson allegedly spotted crawling under vehicles while women were vacuuming their cars at a car wash.
Well, this is about feet then.
Several witness and surveillance cameras reportedly saw Johnson crawling under the vehicles. Court documents say in 3 different situations, all on the same day, Johnson pulled into the parking lot next to the victim while the women were vacuuming their vehicles. Johnson reportedly hid under their cars for several minutes before climbing out from underneath. Now, one of the victims, who will only go by Chanel, talked about one of the incidents. Security cameras showed Johnson parking next to the woman's white SUV, despite several empty parking spots. Johnson exits the vehicle, moves under the front of Chanel's vehicle as she's vacuuming, and that's when they said at one point you can see his head pop out on the driver's side looking up at Chanel. She went on to say, quote, I never thought I would in a million years.
Not about feet at this point.
That there would be someone underneath my car. Now, once he was arrested, he did admit to law enforcement, and he'd been arrested before, that he is, quote, sexually attracted to women's feet and at times cannot control his sexual desires.
Boy, that's crazy.
What he needs is a puppy, so that if he accidentally licks one, he can blame it on the puppy.
Well, he's got a little crazy in him if you look at him.
Yeah,
It's crazy eyes right there.
He looks a little like AJ Soprano.
Yeah, he's got some crazy eyes on him.
Yeah, if you're like, where did AJ Soprano grow up and where did he go?
I ever tell you the best people to handle the post honeymoon for your family?
Yeah.
That's Shannon right there. Shannon and Lenny, the great folks who had our refrigerator stocked and our apartment ready to go when we got back from our honeymoon.
Is that their son?
That's their son right there.
Did you know that already?
Yeah, he came up and said hi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Dunaway.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah. Of course, I'm so old. That's what Shannon and Troy call me too, Mr. Dunaway.
We are going to end trash on this story. Pretty incredible story, by the way. Like, I don't know how much you believe Wilt Chamberlain and the 10,000 women.
Not at all.
I mean, there's a generation that probably doesn't know what that number's about.
But I don't believe it one bit. I think it was complete. I mean, you don't keep up with it. It was fabricated.
I know there's a lot of parents here. They probably don't want me to say this out loud. We have kids, but I do believe this generation is the closest we've had to the wide open 60s generation that we've ever had.
But the rumor was he had 10,000 sexual partners.
That was Wilt Chamberlain. A guy like Charlie Sheen, we have no idea. He's more believable, right?
Yeah, I think he's lost count.
So it turns out
now do Brad Pitt.
That the Batman version of television, Adam West, who died at 88, became a TV legend for his betrayal as Batman back in the 60s. But behind the mask, according to this article, was a sex-mad actor who slept with up to 8 women a day.
My goodness.
Now, he and his co-star Burt Ward, who played the sidekick Robin, also romped with eager groupies in their dressing rooms in between scenes.
Robin?
In fact,
Because
West discovered that's a shocker of the year, by the way.
That's a good type there.
You can see the two girls rolling into the bat cave, and she's like, I was with Robin last night. Do I have to be with Robin again today?
Robin?
Now, they said it got so bad that they would bring groupies into their changing rooms between scenes. Now, the actor explained years later, quote, because of the physical limitations of the costume, you got to have quickies. And he said he had a lot of them. He had dates with fellow stars, including actress sisters Natalie and Lana Wood, Raquel Welch. West went on to explain, quote, Bert and I were like kids in a candy store. It was a swinging 60s with free love. Women threw themselves at us. I remember one night, 8 different women I had. Went on to say orgy, kind of a harsh word, but it was 8 at one time. I have young female co-stars in the dressing room at 7:45 in the morning. In fact, they did turn up for, in West Hollywood, what was described as an orgy. Frank Gorshin, who played the Riddler on the Batman TV series, they got thrown out because they started to behave like their alter egos. They started making everybody laugh. So they said once Batman and the Riddler went into their characters, they threw them out. But they say that it got so bad.
It was when the penguin showed up, they kicked him out.
The rumor was that he got banned from the city of Aspen because he had too much sex.
From the city? Like a whole city banned him? That can't be. Oh, you gotta
now do Johnny Manziel in College Station.
Probably about the same. We remember the what was the costume? Was it Fred Flintstone? Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, okay. That is Trash, brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Hey, if you were looking for your final home or your first home, whether you need a big down payment or 100% financing, our friends at Mortgage Right, they can help. MortgageRight.com, 205-900-7200.
All right, we're about to do our pick 3, our 3 favorite plays on the board, so you can hit your man over the head. Get your L's up. We're about to get the L's up here in a second. The pick 3 is brought to you by our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings. Before we play the song and sing along, tell us about Buffalo Wild Wings LT.
12 Central Alabama locations for all of your viewing watch this weekend. You got 2 games tonight, full slate tomorrow, NFL Sunday ticket. Get into one of those great locations and enjoy some incredible wings at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Hit it, Tyler.
Pick 3, it's time for the pick 3. 3 for you and 3 for me, that equals a pick 3. Say goodbye to your family, it's time for the pick 3. Only time that I'm happy is when it's time for pick 3.
You know how to play the pick 3. 3-0 gets you a ball in the bucket. You win. You got a chance to win the grand prize in the big drawing at the end of the year. You go to nextroundlive.com, and pick your 3 games right there. Brought to you by B-Dubs. In the standings right now, if you'll put those up, Forrester, I think LT has inched into first place there, followed by me and then Brownie. I think you had an 0-3 week.
That is highly likely, Jimmy.
Yeah, 0-3 week. 2-1 LT. I was 1-2 last week, 0-3. So 0-3. Start us off, Brownie. What do you have for us here? We'll save Alabama, not in our pick 3, unless I don't have them in mind. Do you have?
I do not have.
We'll save the Alabama pick for the end here.
Yeah, I am going to start with USC. The Trojans are laying 15 and a half, at home right now at mybookie.ag against Wisconsin. Wisconsin playing the remainder of the season, obviously without Tyler Van Dyke. I think USC has that bounce back game. Their defense won't struggle like it did because Wisconsin's not going to run the ball like Michigan. So I like USC minus 15 and a half at home right now. They all got their phone out. Y'all playing these games? Oh, God.
Are you playing opposite? Are you fading us?
Yeah, probably I did.
Yeah. Fade me. Fade
Dunaway. That's what that.
You're fading him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that.
You got to fade me. I saw.
Dare you.
Yeah. I'm going to play UNLV. UNLV minus the 2.5.
It's a great play.
I think so. A lot of headlines around this game. They're going to change quarterbacks. I think this team rallies around their backup. So I like UNLV minus 2.5. And I think Kansas finally bounces back this week. 2.5 in this one as well. Kansas at home against TCU, favored by 2.5. So, of course, Lance, I'm in a college town. Give me 3 favorites. I'm playing 3 favorites, Kansas, USC, and UNLV.
We'll save LT's. He's in first place. For me, I'm going to ride with you. I'm going to ride with UNLV. Their starting quarterback's out, but all the wide receivers, including the guy who's getting the most NIL money, who's one of the star wide receivers, they're like, this guy should have been playing all along, the backup quarterback, because he's the passing quarterback. They haven't been throwing the football enough. Now the quarterback that can throw the football is in there. UNLV, I think they beat Fresno. I like that. Give me UNLV there. I'm going with Illinois. Luke Altmaier looks fantastic at Ole Miss. We got snapping fingers back there for Luke Altmaier and Illinois. 18.5. I don't think they're going to win the game because of that big whiteout energy they have at Happy Valley. But I think Illinois keeps it inside the number and give me Illinois.
Could that be a weather game? Do you know? Is the system going to be up there yet? I wonder.
I don't do meteorology.
People think you do a lot of times in the convenience store.
But I don't. But I couldn't come to the rabbit hole.
Oh,
I couldn't come to the rabbit hole
Here we go.
on a Friday afternoon
Pat McAfee.
and not take the Louisville freaking Cardinals. Give me Louisville. Give me Louisville. Louisville or die is what I'm saying today. Give me Louisville.
These guys.
I mean, it really wasn't on my radar.
I know. Every college student here just went crazy.
It's the most anticipated Louisville game in
So
football
I'm going to
history.
contradict my headline. I do that because you got to find something to go with the
The
headline.
headline just for fun. You're not
Yeah,
making it.
I do think Florida State's defensive front is going to give SMU's offensive line a lot of problems. I like Florida State plus 6.5. Oregon, they got right in Corvallis 2 weeks ago. I think it continues. UCLA going West Coast, East Coast, back West Coast. I think Oregon wipes them out minus 25.5. And I know this crowd's not going to like this, but I think on the Plains, I think Peyton Thorne, believe it or not, plays clean football. And I like Auburn minus the half against Oklahoma.
He says, take the jacket off. You're not worthy to wear it anymore.
That line move though, Lance, is pretty crazy. I mean, to go from 2.5.
Somebody's got to slash that guy's tires.
It's the same guy.
I don't typically endorse slashing a guy's tires or hitting a guy with an axe handle or just putting him in a ditch. But yeah, my man agrees right there.
So
I don't know that guy in the white dirty jacket.
He says he goes up and down the strip all the
I know we've got tight security in town. Does anybody have a grenade? Next time he comes back,
I left mine in Birmingham. Yeah. So that's pretty crazy line movement, though. This time yesterday, Oklahoma's a 2.5-point favorite, and right now Auburn's a 1.5-point favorite. That's a pretty big flip.
Yeah, and I don't think the injury report that you talked about, that might factor a little bit.
Well, what do you think's causing this? Just smart money?
I think it's smart money.
Yeah, so everybody's loading up. That was a bad-looking injury report, though. When you come out and you see in the availability report 5 wide receivers out, and the way they listed them, I think they listed them all together. So it's like so obvious that all of them are out. And you got a freshman quarterback starting on the road, and all of his top receivers are out. How does Oklahoma find points in that game? Auburn's defense is not very good, but I don't know that Oklahoma's going to get anything.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing we know, that both these offenses are challenged, we'll call them, and I think Oklahoma's got a really good defense.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know how Auburn's going to find points either.
Yeah, but Michael Hawkins to get that first start in Jordan-Hare, and I think Jordan-Hare as a venue has lost a little steam just based on the fact that Auburn hasn't been winning games over the last couple of years. But still, you get that crowd behind it. It gets rolling a little bit. There's zero chance I would have played Auburn in this situation if Hank Brown was starting quarterback.
If you missed the news earlier, Pete Thamel, probably the least lackluster Pete Thamel report of all time, reported that Peyton Thorne was the starting quarterback. That's not like a Woj bomb or anything. That was pretty much a given, I thought, after the way Hank Brown played last
when Brown even brought it up, I was like, damn. I thought they changed.
I was going to see if I could.
I thought he was going to say Hank Brown.
Yeah.
That would have shocked me.
I was going to see if I could draw you into it. But, I mean, Peyton Thorne's the obvious guy to go with here. Hank Brown did not look good in that first half against Arkansas, and this is a much better defense than Arkansas.
Yes. Terry Saban is the guest picker for game day tomorrow in its usual location. Before we make our Alabama and Georgia picks, we want to say thank you to the fine folks here at the Rabbit Hole. They've been so nice. I mean, look at all those beautiful crimson Bud Light bottles on all these tables over here. One more time, everybody raise it up. Another Bud Light toast here. Thank you to the Rabbit Hole, all the great folks, the hands that prepared the food, and all the great blessings that you get there. Thank you, Rabbit Hole. And for the guys who brought us shots, thank you for those guys, too. Even though I'm still burping tequila over here.
Are you really?
Yeah.
It was a shot.
Yeah. I'm not good at shots.
And you're chasing it with beer.
Okay, so here we go.
Shot. You're not good at the shot.
In the trenches, Alabama and Georgia. Who's got the advantage? Offensive line of Alabama, defensive line of Georgia. You first, Brownie.
Well, we've only seen Alabama's starting offensive line in one game, and it was impressive against Wisconsin.
Looked
Alabama,
damn good.
It looked very, very good. They were able to protect Jalen Milroe. They were able to run the ball when they wanted to run the football. They scored 42 points in that game. Alabama's as healthy as they could possibly be. You look at the availability report, and even the guys that are listed on that are listed as probable. So This is going to be the healthiest Alabama has been in the offensive front. I think when this offensive front is intact, it's about as good as any in the country.
Yeah, I would agree.
So I think Alabama would have the advantage there.
Yeah, I think with Caden Proctor coming back against Wisconsin, I think the right side, there are still question marks, but I think bigger question marks with Tate Ratledge out for Georgia. But I do think Alabama's offensive line, sounds crazy, has an advantage over Georgia's defensive front.
Flip it around. Alabama's D-line. Shout out to Tim Smith, the guys up front. Taking on Georgia's offensive line. Ratledge is out.
Ratledge is big, but I still think the offensive line for Georgia probably is a little bit better. You know, I agree with what Roman Harper said. I think both of these offenses probably better than the defenses right now.
I think getting Quay Russaw back is huge for Alabama, and then Alexander being available for the first time really this year. I think having that availability report for Alabama is as good as you could hope for going into a game like this. So Alabama back healthy defensively. I think I'll go with Lance on this, but I think that's extremely close. Alabama's front seven against that Georgia offensive line, especially with Tate Ratledge out.
Who's got the best running game in this game? Is it Alabama or is it Georgia?
Yeah, I'm not placating to you guys, but it is Alabama. It's Dan Miller.
Yeah.
I think Georgia has taken steps back at the skill positions. I think Etienne's good, but I think Alabama has the two best running backs in this game by far. And I think Jan Miller is that guy, and I think Justice Haynes is right there with him.
I thought Etienne would be better, too. He has not been as good as I thought. And I don't know if that's a function of him or the offensive line, really, even after we just talked about that offensive line. So I would say the combo of Miller and Justice Haynes is better than what we've gotten so far out of Etienne.
Is it fair watching them against Kentucky that their team speed when they're not behind the wheel of a car is a lot slower than it has been in the past?
I see what you did there.
Yeah. They don't look as fast as they
I'm
did
not
in the
going to get
past.
baited here. Again, there's a lot of narratives that will come out of whatever happens tomorrow night right down the street here at Bryant-Denny. But Georgia traditionally, at least since 2020, their last three appearances there as dominant teams, they have struggled offensively against Kentucky for whatever reason.
Carson Beck seems to be too conservative for me. Doesn't like to throw the deep ball as much as, say, Jalen Milroe does. Best quarterback in this game is
Carson Beck.
Carson Beck.
Lance is
Carson Beck.
Lance is a big Carson Beck guy, and I get it. And Carson Beck has been
love Jalen Milroe. I think Milroe is great. I think he's great in the system. He's an incredible guy. He's gotten better and better. But Carson Beck is a future franchise quarterback in the NFL.
And he may well be, but Jalen Milroe has played better this year.
This year, yes.
This year. Now, we're through 3 games, and Alabama is largely untested, and Georgia, in a sense, is as well.
But I think
Milroe has been better.
He's been asked to do more. Like
he had to play the whole South Florida game.
Carson Beck knows that, look, I just don't need to make mistakes, which he hasn't. They haven't turned the football over, that they could go through the motions and be where they are right now going into this game. Dangerous against Kentucky and Lexington, but I'm just tomorrow night, and we'll see it. Like, I can eat crow on Monday if you want me to, but Mike Bobo is going to give Carson Beck a lot of opportunities, and I think he'll take advantage.
My point is he doesn't take them. He's too conservative. He doesn't throw the ball
because he
down
hasn't
the field.
had to.
Well,
I think in this game he might have to.
They almost lost at Kentucky. What's he waiting on?
They didn't.
I know, and I know we're about to get to this, but I'm not sure how good he is at receiver, and I think maybe the biggest players that are missed in college football this year are the combo of Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers. And listen, I was the first to look at McConkey and think he was just a slow white possession receiver, coach on the field. Jim Rack can't get him out of the film room. That guy was a really good receiver, and they miss him, and they certainly miss Brock Bowers.
I mean, Ryan Williams is going to be next world. I don't think there's any doubt. But if Ladd McConkey had another year and was back, you would say the best receiver in this game would be Ladd McConkey. Now,
best wide receiver in this game
is Ryan Williams.
That is over the age of 16.
Is Ryan Williams. I think Jeremy Bernard, Kendrick Law, Kobe Prentice, I mean, all these Alabama receivers are better skill-wise than Georgia is.
Okay, before we do the picks, can we do it real quick? We're about to make the picks. Let's do it one time. Everybody raise the Bud Light. Let's do it one time. Roll. You in the back. Roll. Tide. Roll. Brownie, your pick.
I love him playing to the crowd. I'll give you one of my organs if he picks Georgia right now.
A zero chance.
Yeah, I know.
Pick him, Brown.
I don't think Kirby Smart has a Nick Saban problem. I think Kirby Smart has an Alabama problem. And I think it's going to be a tight game, but I think Jalen Milroe has played better quarterback this year than Brock Bowers. His legs are the difference. That's what gave Kirby problems at Alabama. The mobile quarterback, it'll give him problems Saturday night. Tight Alabama win, 27-24.
Oh, yes.
I think everybody had a Nick Saban problem. I think everybody has an Alabama problem. But Kirby Smart is an elite coach. I think this game means more. It's more important for him. 31-28, Dogs.
Take that damn jacket off. Take that jacket off.
Jesus Christ. It's not like I'm pulling for him. I'm just telling you who I think's going to win the game.
Take that jacket off.
Hey, you think Dunaway's going to go Georgia now?
First time I ever cried over a sporting event was an Alabama loss. Anybody else? I know you feel me.
Yeah. There's a few hands out there, Jimmy.
Donald Trump's in the house tomorrow.
That is correct.
There's no way America's team loses with Donald Trump in the house. Give me Alabama 27-21 over the Georgia Bulldogs. How about that? Thank you to the Rabbit Hole. Thank you to Bud Light. Enjoy the afternoon. Drink responsibly. Live music on this stage coming up. Thank you to Forrester and Tyler back in studio. We'll be back in studio on Monday at 9 a.m. Central Time. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.